Yo, what's up everyone? What's up PlayStation Nation? You are now tuned in to the What's Up PlayStation podcast.
What's up? What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. You already know what you're getting, and that is facts with a discussion. The greatest to bless the mic without the needless interruption. Face it, we got an anatomy like a little bite of me for a concussion. You know what's up, man. I mean it when I seen it. I was proud of these brothers. They entertain the people every week without cussing, and you don't ever hear the drama. They keep it clean on the podcast. Independent duo doing it big when they broadcast. Haters hate to see them doing positive things. PlayStation Nation got you, ain't it obvious, man? We pulling up every week and showing love in the chat. Unlike these other channels, these guys are showing their back. Like, what's up?
What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. Persona, the gaming politician, politicking for the come up. Division and vision require precision, decision that gotta be thought of. The potential is exponential. Gaming credentials is what they brought us. Get caught up. You know, Bari bring the passion when he's speaking from the heart. He the best lisp on YouTube, climbing up the charts. And when Persona speaks, he gon' tear the mic apart. Intellectually, of course, cause you know the boy's smart. They cover the news with integrity, so you know it's a must watch. Ain't no console war, just two brothers being a font. What's up, PlayStation? Got the Saturdays locked. And if you ain't tuning in, you missing out. Get blocked.
What's up? What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
Yo, listen, man. I really do appreciate everyone that always comes through to rock out with me and Bari, man, on What's Up PlayStation podcast. A podcast by fans for the fans, or by the community for the community, I should say. Listen, man. For me, man, I'm gaming with Persona. If you enjoyed listening, definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm a PlayStation fan too.
Yo, what's up everyone? What's up PlayStation Nation? You are now tuned in to the What's Up PlayStation podcast.
What's up? What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. You already know what you're getting, and that is facts with a discussion. The greatest to bless the mic without the needless interruption. Face it, we got an anatomy like a little bite of me for a concussion. You know what's up, man. I mean it when I seen it. I was proud of these brothers. They entertain the people every week without cussing, and you don't ever hear the drama. They keep it clean on the podcast. Independent duo doing it big when they broadcast. Haters hate to see them doing positive things. PlayStation Nation got you, ain't it obvious, man? We pulling up every week and showing love in the chat. Unlike these other channels, these guys are showing their back. Like, what's up?
What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's
They don't need no introduction. Persona, the gaming politician, politicking for the come up. Division and vision require precision, decision that gotta be thought of. The potential is exponential. Gaming credentials is what they brought us. Get caught up. You know, Bari bring the passion when he's speaking from the heart. He the best lisp on YouTube, climbing up the charts. And when Persona speaks, he gon' tear the mic apart. Intellectually, of course, cause you know the boy's smart. They cover the news with integrity, so you know it's a must watch. Ain't no console war, just two brothers being a font. What's up, PlayStation? Got the Saturdays locked. And if you ain't tuning in, you missing out. Get blocked.
What's up? What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
Yo, listen, man. I really do appreciate everyone that always comes through to rock out with me and Bari, man, on What's Up PlayStation podcast, a podcast by fans for the fans, or by the community for the community, I should say. Listen, man. For me, man, I'm gaming with Persona. If you enjoyed listening, definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm a PlayStation fan too.
Yo, what's up, everyone? What's up, PlayStation Nation? You are now tuned in to the What's Up PlayStation podcast.
What's up? What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. You already know what you getting, and that is facts with a discussion. The greatest to bless the mic without the needless interruption. Face it, we got an anatomy like a little bite of me for a concussion. You know what's up, man. I mean it when I seen it, I was proud of these brothers. They entertain the people every week without cussing. And you don't ever hear the drama, they keep it clean on the podcast. Independent duo doing it big when they broadcast. Haters hate to see them doing positive things. PlayStation Nation got you, ain't it obvious, man? We pulling up every week and showing love in the chat. Unlike these other channels, these guys are showing their back like, what's up?
What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. Persona, the gaming politician, politicking for the come up. Division and vision require precision, decision that gotta be thought of. The potential is exponential. Gaming credentials is what they brought us. Get caught up. You know, Bari bring the passion when he's speaking from the heart. He the best lisp on YouTube, climbing up the charts. And when Persona speaks, he gon' tear the mic apart. Intellectually, of course, cause you know the boy's smart. They cover the news with integrity, so you know it's a must watch. Ain't no console war, just two brothers being a font. What's up, PlayStation? Got the Saturdays locked. And if you ain't tuning in, you missing out. Get blocked.
What's up? What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
Yo, listen, man. I really do appreciate everyone that always comes through to rock out with me and Bari, man, on What's Up PlayStation podcast, a podcast by fans for the fans, or by the community for the community, I should say. Listen, man. For me, man, I'm gaming with Persona. If you enjoyed listening, definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm a PlayStation fan too.
Yo, what's up, everyone? What's up, PlayStation Nation? You are now tuned in to to the What's Up PlayStation podcast.
What's up? What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introductions. You already know what you getting, and that is facts with a discussion. The greatest to bless the mic without the needless interruptions. Face it, we got an anatomy like a little bite of me for a concussion. You know what's up, man. I mean it when I seen it. I was proud of these brothers. They entertain the people every week without cussing, and you don't ever hear the drama. They keep it clean on the podcast. Independent duo doing it big when they broadcast. Haters hate to see them doing positive things. PlayStation Nation got you, ain't it obvious, man? We pulling up every week and showing love in the chat. Unlike these other channels, these guys are showing their bag like, what's up?
What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. Persona, the gaming politician, politicking for the come up. Division and vision require precision, decision that gotta be thought of. The potential is exponential. Gamer credentials is what they brought us. Get caught up. You know, Bari bring the passion when he's speaking from the heart. He the best lisp on YouTube, climbing up the charts. And when Persona speaks, he gon' tear the mic apart. Intellectually, of course, cause you know the boy's smart. They cover the news with integrity, so you know it's a must watch. Ain't no console war, just two brothers being a font. What's up, PlayStation got the Saturdays locked. And if you ain't tuning in, you missing out. Get blocked.
What's up? What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
Yo, listen, man. I really do appreciate everyone that always comes through to rock out with me and Bari, man, on What's Up PlayStation podcast, a podcast by fans for the fans, or by the community for the community, I should say. Listen, man. For me, man, I'm gaming with Persona. If you enjoyed listening, definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm a PlayStation fan too.
Yo, what is good, YouTube? What's up, PlayStation Nation? Welcome to another episode of the What's Up PlayStation podcast, episode 72 to be exact. Yes, we are 72 episodes in, and we can't believe it. Can you guys believe it? I'm sure you can, but yo, we appreciate all the support that we've been getting here at What's Up PlayStation podcast. It's good to see all the friendly faces in the chat, the friendly names, and the profile pics in the chat. And yeah, it's been about a week. You know, we took a little gamecation, but we are back, and we got a lot to talk about here. But for those people that are new to the podcast, that are new to What's Up PlayStation podcast, we are a PlayStation-centric podcast where we talk about the latest, where we talk about the greatest, the good, the bad, the ugly news of PlayStation throughout the week. I am one of your hosts, Jay Bari, and I got the best lisp on YouTube. Yes, I know somebody's going to type in a comment. Hey, yes, I do. I got a lisp. Deal with it, okay? But yeah, I'm one of the hosts, as I said earlier. You know, this is the two-man show here at What's Up PlayStation Podcast, and I want to introduce the other host of the show, the King of Queens himself, Mr. Destiny, the Destiny God.
Absolutely.
Yo, Persona, what is good, man?
I'm a PlayStation fan too. What is good, guys? Your boy Persona, gaming with Persona, the other half of the What's Up PlayStation podcast crew. And yo, man, I missed you guys. I hope you guys missed us. And it feels good to be back, Bari, because I felt weird not doing a show last week. But listen, greatness released, right? And we had to step away and just put as much time as we can into these games. A lot of great games have been releasing
But it does feel good to be back, man. Can't wait to get into the news. We got an extremely special guest with us this week, which I'm really excited about as well, and honored, honestly. And I hope I know you guys will enjoy as well. So yeah, man. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, sorry about that. The chat wasn't up, but now it's up now, guys. You know, OBS update, all that stuff update, and now we're good to go. You know, the little week vacation off, you know, little bugs here and there. But yes, Persona said we have a special guest here, and this guy right here is a huge inspiration to What's Up PlayStation podcast. Been following this man for a very, very long time. Very knowledgeable gamer, very knowledgeable reviewer, journalist, however you want to claim it. One of the best. And I listen, I'm not kissing ass here. I'm just giving you guys the facts. But I want to introduce you guys to the man, the myth, the legend, Colin Moriarty. Colin, what's up, man?
Wow, that's quite the introduction. Thank you. It's good to be here, guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me. And yeah, it's cool to be on a different PlayStation podcast than my own, so that I can talk to some different faces than Chris and Dustin every single week.
Yeah, man. We definitely appreciate you coming on here. And yeah, also, you know, sacred symbols. You know, I had to put that thumbnail up. You know, Colin is bringing the stamp of the sacred symbols here. And you enjoy the podcast every week. Where you guys, one thing I like about you guys is that it's not just like we love PlayStation kind of thing. You guys get to the nitty gritty. You know what I mean? Like if there's something that you dislike, you're gonna talk about it. And I respect shows like that because it's good. Can you say this is good discourse? You know what I mean? Like to agree and disagree. You know.
Yeah, I mean that's what we try to do, is try to be as honest as we can be and as forthright as we can be. It's a good time to be a PlayStation fan. It has been for a long time, but not everything is great. And so we have a reputation of kind of keeping it, you know, I don't want to say keeping it real. I'm sure a lot of people keep it real, but like keeping it grounded. And we're looked at as pessimistic a little bit by some people, but I think it's fun to have that kind of show. We don't have, you know, we eschew any sort of industry connections. We don't get games early. We don't ask for games early. We don't have any PR contact or whatever. So we try to just do what we feel is best. And I'm glad that it works. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think when it comes to providing a show to the community, because it's like, you know, when it comes to people, especially if you're a fan of something, you know, obviously biases tend to get in the way sometimes, but it's important to be able to speak on the W's and the L's within this community or within your favorite game or brand or whatever the case may be, because it keeps them grounded. And really, I think it's important to be able to speak on the negatives, because how can something get better without acknowledging what's wrong with it? You know, so that's really important. So I agree.
Yeah, I think it's important too. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad that resonates.
Quick story for Colin, real quick. The first time I met you, Colin, was actually at PlayStation Experience 2014 in Vegas.
The first one. Cool.
Yeah, and you were, I forgot what game it was, but I seen you playing a game, recording. This is back during the Beyond days. And I went up and I was like, hey, yo, Colin, what's up, man? I'm a big fan. You know, can we get a picture? And I was able to get a pic, and that was the first time I actually met you in person. It was really dope experience. So it's a couple times that we've met and seen each other.
Cool, man. Yeah, I loved PlayStation Experience, which is weird because I hate going to shows, but PSX felt special. I'm sorry that I remember the first one so well because it was so intimate and small. And the people that were there, I think, will always remember that show because there was not that many of us there, and it was exciting. It was awesome. I remember when the 20th anniversary PS4 went on sale when everyone was at PSX, and the internet there wasn't working, so the people that were actually there, like the most hardcore fans, couldn't get it because the internet wasn't working. So I kind of hope they bring PSX back, but they never made any money on it. So I'm sure that's not something they're interested in.
Yeah, it felt good to kind of be around fans, and I think it was. Because for me personally, like this is when I was kind of starting to get my feet wet within like YouTube and trying to create content. And it was really cool to be able to meet like people like you, and other big names within like, you know, the media or big names within content creation. And really just like, because I met Andrea. It was like a ton of people that I was able to meet that year. Sid Schumann and Andrew House and just all those great people. And I was just like, man, this is such a great thing. To just have that type of access to people like that, just walking willy-nilly across the floor. So I do hope they bring that back, but you know, if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense, right?
I wish
Yeah,
they
for
would
sure.
bring it back. It's just a good rapport. You know what I mean? It's good to have everybody on one accord. Like, oh, these are PlayStation fans here. Like my first one was in 2015. I think you was there as well, but I didn't get to see you. I remember when you was, you was doing like the kind of funny thing. You was like, yeah, I'm not really trying to, engage like that. So I was like, I'm not trying to, pry on my man Colin. So, but
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, I was at all of them. I think there were 3, right? I was at all 3 of them. But and I'll go back, but I don't know if we'd even be invited. I mean, we don't have a good relationship with Sony at all. They don't like us. But we'll go as fans if that's what's necessary. That'll be fun.
I think regardless if they like you or not, I think you would get an invite because you're like the biggest or one of the biggest PlayStation podcasters out there. There's no way, like, I personally feel there's no way PlayStation can like deny that. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot.
Well, we always like to make fun of them on our show when we're saying bad things because it's like we know you're listening. Like, I know you're listening. So it's fun. It's fun from that perspective, but we like to stay on the outside. We tried to go to PAX in 2019. We actually were going to do Sacred Symbols at PAX. We got invited to do it in like their big theater, and then they disinvited us. So and I paid out of pocket for all the people that bought tickets from our audience that wanted refunds that were only going to see us because they wouldn't do that themselves. So that kind of left a bad taste in our mouths. We're more happy to do things on the outside. The more outside we are, the bigger the show has become. And we have almost 13,000 patrons now. So
it could be more authentic too. Like, cause we're gonna get into the whole review stuff and all that, but you're coming from like a consumer standpoint, like us, you know what I mean? So whatever you're talking about is not because you got a free copy or you got this little promo thing.
Yeah, but essentially for you and your team, your thoughts on your shows are not bought and paid for. It's just how you all genuinely feel.
Definitely. And what's funny with Horizon is, we got it at the same time everyone else did. We bought it, and I've already bought 3 copies because I'm so into it that I bought one for my nephew and one for my brother so that they can enjoy it too. But yeah, it's all comes from kind of the heart, and we're happy to be on the outside. It takes a lot of stress out. I also think it's good for the show, as you guys were saying. I've noticed that our competitors in the big PlayStation shows, I think we do a much better show than them. But what I notice is that they're already off Horizon. They're already like on to something else. Like, we're all playing Horizon right now. We're not off Horizon. Yeah. So it really doesn't make any sense. But I remember what it was like to be on those shows and get games early. And I get it. We just aren't caught in that hype anymore. We don't need it. It reminds me a little bit of like Angry Joe or Donkey or whatever, where people will just wait until they're ready to say what they have to say. And I think it's more fun to read a review personally when you have played the game. So like, I don't read criticism really. I engage with it often after I'm done with something. So I'm glad that kind of stuff resonates. I know that it's hard. I'm very lucky because I was able to build my name before I went into my JD Salinger mode, so you can't really have both. You have to kind of have one and then the other. So I understand that it's luck too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, you built your name off, just being, you are very direct. You're very bold. You know what I mean? There's no like, oh, let me cut corners here when you're type of review. Like, so I was
gonna say, even during like your Beyond IGN days, like I always got that, like, you were one of the people that I'd always look for when it came to when you were talking about the Vita, you were talking about this PlayStation game on that PlayStation game, or even on the Beyond podcast. I always was like, Colin is someone that I can listen to and be like, yeah, like he's definitely speaking from the heart, speaking from the heart. Shout out to Bari. And you definitely you were trying to be as authentic as possible with your audience. So that was always something that I respected about you, even way back in the day.
Yeah, even when we disagree, because there's things I don't agree with what you say, but
I'm sure there is.
I can just listen. I'm like, oh, well, he is coming from a good point of view here, but I just don't agree with it. But I like stuff like that.
Well, it was very similar to how I was when Microsoft bought Bethesda. I had said, I feel like it's fairly obvious that Starfield and Elder Scrolls and stuff will stay on PlayStation. Why wouldn't they? And I was wrong, right? And instead of pretending I was wrong, I kind of explained to the audience exactly what my rationale was, so you can at least understand it. I'm not going to be right all the time. I'm wrong about a lot of things, but as long as people understand where I'm coming from, then like consistent, logical, etc., that's all that really matters. And then you kind of, when I talk into a microphone between all my shows for 8 or 10 hours a week, I'm going to be wrong a lot, in that time. So, but it's conviction and it's a little brashness and all of that. But I'm glad that it comes off in a way that is caring and that people enjoy, because that's all that really matters. We do it for them.
Key word here, this show, Colin, is going to be accountability.
Nice.
Don't worry, we're going to get into it in the topic portion, but let's start the show. Let's get into it, guys. We see the beautiful people in the chat. We appreciate everyone here. Persona, we got 2 super chats from Enter Cheat Code.
Enter Cheat Code, appreciate you for the super chat. It says, shout out to the boys and congratulations on another great guest. Proud of y'all. Thanks for making Saturdays great. And then another one from Enter Cheat Code. He says, kind of funny without Colin, lost my support. Shout out to WUPS for the guest appearance. Appreciate you, Cheat Code.
Appreciate the support, guys. One thing we can say though, Colin, just to get our chest out a little bit. We had Sean Layden here on this show. I
know. After I saw that, because I've talked to him a few times behind the scenes before that, and then I think I had asked him, I don't know, a couple months before you guys had him on. I'm like, do you want to do a show? He's like, I think he said something like, I'm in soft retirement right now or something. I'm like, that's fine. I've only met him in person a few times. It wasn't like Jack Trenton or someone that I was on a first name basis with, because when I had left IGN at the end of 2014, that was just when Sean was coming to Power. So I only met him a few times. And then kind of funny, we didn't really do that kind of coverage. So he's a great guy. So I reached out after I saw that he was on your show, and he's like, oh, I'm still not doing anything. I'm like, all right, I got scooped. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. It happens once in a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
Trust me, we're still surprised to this day.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Congratulations.
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised that he even agreed, and I'm grateful.
Early in the morning too, but because the only reason why I brought it up, because as far as the guests that we have here, we have some good, respectable PlayStation people. We have you on here now. We had Mystic. I don't know if you ever heard of Mystic. Great.
That's another guy you scooped me on, because my audience really wants him on, Ryan, and I reached out to him a couple times last year, and I'm not going to bust his balls, but I asked him, and he's like, no, I'm not really doing anything like that right now. And so that's probably the most requested guest we got on our show is Mystic. And I'll try to make that happen, but so you scoop me again. I mean, goddamn you.
Hey, we're just 2 PlayStation fans from New York, Colin. I don't know.
No, this is facts.
Well, three PlayStation fans from New York, but also let's go on this episode right now. But also, it's good to have that kind of vibe to ask people. I think you guys are doing the right thing. It's kind of trite now, but as Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So people should always be taking their shots.
Absolutely.
And then you never really know what's going to happen. IGN found me, but I kicked the door off the hinges. I definitely took about 7 million shots at the net when they found me. So just keep taking your shots, everyone, and good things happen.
Yeah. Like with you, we always was like, yo, we got to get Colin on the show. Ever since we started this podcast, we got to get Colin on this show. There's no way we're going to have a PlayStation podcast and not have Colin on the show.
Yeah.
But we never really 100%. Built up that courage yet to actually, it was like, you know what? 2022, we asking him. If he responds, he responds.
Listen,
if he doesn't,
I got no shame, man. I'm asking Mark Cerny to come through.
Man, he's so intimidating.
I need y'all to pull up, man, and come through. I want to talk to all of y'all, man, and just have a good conversation. So
Mark Cerny's intimidating, dude. You don't want to talk to Mark Cerny. I think he's great, but last time I was in Japan, I talked to him and interviewed him, and he's scary how smart he is. He intently looks at you when you're talking to him, and he'll just dissect you. You can tell. He's the smartest man in any room he's in. He's an interesting cat. But no, congratulations to you guys on those interviews, and it's always good to ask. I am always, people are surprised about some of the people that I get on my show, and I'm like, all I did was ask them. It's not like there's nothing more to it than that. And sometimes you have to chase the difficult story. I was in contact last week with GSC Game World, the guys that are doing Stalker, because they're located in Kiev. And we were talking a little bit back and forth, and then the invasion happened. So I kind of made the decision that I'm not going to try to be like, do you want to do my show from your invaded capital city? But what I was trying to do is get a story about how it's going. Are you nervous? Are you scared? What's the vibe? Because 4A Games, of course, famously left Ukraine after the Crimea takeover in 2014. The guys that make Metro, they're located in Malta now. So all I'm saying is that I always have these weird tethers out to try to have conversations with people, and then some of them come to fruition, and that's why it seems like I talk to a lot of interesting people. But in fact, most of the people that I try to get on the show say no. So you just got to keep asking.
Yeah. I think as New Yorkers, all three of us as New Yorkers, we're not shy to like getting it in, getting out there and really
like, yo, you want to come on or not?
We're not shy to pound the pavement to get what we need. So it's respectable. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about today, Bari, man.
Let's get into it, man. How we start the show off with the games for the week, something that the blog used to do with the drop for the week, but we gotta rely on Push Square here to get the new PlayStation games for the week, and these are the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 games for February 21st to the 27th. So we got back on track, Persona, because we was off track the last podcast, but now we're back on track.
Yeah, we were talking about games that were coming out the week after. Now we're good.
Absolutely. So the first game we have here is Dragons in Space for the PlayStation 4. Then we have Monster Crown for the PlayStation 4. Truck Driver Premium Edition. Persona, I need that review by Friday for the PlayStation 5. Dr. Oil for the PlayStation 4. Monster Crown, again, I guess that's like a physical copy, or I don't know what's going on here with that. Sam & Max, this time it's virtual, but PlayStation VR. The Sam & Max is still kicking around, man. Those games been out since what, PS3, I want to say? That's the first time I played it.
There were 5 games on PS3, I think, right? Where they were like, it was a episodic thing, as I recall.
It was like a Tales game or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's cool that they're still kicking around. Soul Cresta for the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
The big controversial game here is Martha is Dead. It got some censorship going on there, which I think we all saw the censorship video. We was like, "Why the hell is PlayStation?"
I mean, listen. Yes, there was the censorship in the video. It didn't really look that bad to me. Like, but a lot of people that was complaining, they ain't buy this game. Like, did anybody buy this that was complaining about the censorship? That's the question I'm asking.
Y'all let us know if y'all bought it.
The censorship with PlayStation is wrong or whatever, but did anybody buy this? Did you buy it? Or not even on the PlayStation? Did you buy it on Xbox? On did you buy it anywhere? Because if not, then
Well, I actually think that the like it sometimes works out. The controversy around that game probably helped it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more confused about what the purpose of their censorship is. I'm trying to figure out like what the common link is between all the things they censor, because there's something we're missing, and I don't know like what it is. It's like some random vendor has a problem with this shit or something. It's not Sony. It doesn't make any sense. So
yeah, because when you look at how
is it not PlayStation or Sony if the other platforms don't have it?
Well, you're right. I should be more literal in saying that it literally is Sony. But what I'm saying is I don't think that it's them coming to a decision. Like, we don't want this girl's butt shown in Devil May Cry, and we don't want.
Gotcha.
It's like, I think it's them. I think it's them responding to some internal. It's some mysterious internal force. Like, I don't think it's a policy against violence and sexuality because it is so inconsistent that it's so obvious it's inconsistent. I just wish they would come out and say like, oh, we have this Japanese payment vendor. It's the same reason why some things happen where it's like where we can't have hardcore porn on Patreon, because not that we would, but Patreon itself, because Patreon can't risk its relationship with its vendors, like its payment vendors, and they don't.
But I think the reason why the reason why I guess that kind of like baffles me as well with the whole censorship is because another game that's coming to PlayStation that looks very graphic is Slitherhead by the old devs from the old devs from Japan Studio. Is it Bocam? I think it's
what?
Bocam.
Yeah, it's Bocam. Yeah,
it's Bocam, right? Yeah,
yeah, it's Bocam.
Nah, Slitherhead, and that game is. That game, like, it's very graphic in terms of like, like the horror type of horror, different things that you would see in like horror films and stuff like that, where you got people's faces blowing off and mutating into like these tentacle monsters. And I'm just like, you got that. Then you look at something like The Last of Us 2 with the shit that Ellie is doing. And I'm just like, or Martha is Dead. I'm just like, this don't make no sense.
Well, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's why I think that there is some it's like being in math and it's like there's an X in the equation. I don't know what the X is. I don't know the value of X. And the value of X, I think, is what, like, that's why I just brought up the Patreon example, because people get mad at them sometimes about this, that, or the other thing, but actually they're beholden to PayPal and all those companies. Otherwise they can't function. And I'm just wondering if there's something like that, you know, that's pulling at Sony, because the inconsistency is so obvious, but Sony PR is so bad that they don't even get ahead of these things when they really should. So there's a lot of weird components to it. It's a fascinating PlayStation story. You know?
Do you think the censorship that they do impose on some of those games, how detrimental do you think that would be to the brand itself? Do you think it would hurt to a point where, you know, it could put them in a negative position? Or do you think it's just kind of just, you know, one day is this and the next day is business as usual?
I think that it's interesting. I think that it probably hurts them. I think you can kind of see the evidence. It seems like they had a real lock on Japanese gaming, especially like Japanese scene gaming, you know, like A tier and below gaming. And that seems to have been migrating to Nintendo a lot. You can see a lot of NIS publishing over there and Atlas and others. And so I think it just sets a different vibe where people have different expectations. The chances are when you go to play a game on PlayStation, it's not going to be edited, but you never know. And if that's something that you care about, then sure, you're going to try to get away from that. But I don't know that it really matters ultimately. And I think if it did, that they would probably say something or do something about it. So we'll see.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll see. So next game we have here is Altair Sophie 2, The Alchemist of the Mysterious Dream for the PlayStation 4.
How do they?
Those games never stop.
Yeah,
they've been putting,
still on 2
since PS3.
Yeah, they still on 2.
I think every year an Altair Sophie game releases, and then they have Altair Sophie, Altair Ruin, and like
it's
every
always a
year the game
continuation.
releases. But they sell though. Like
I'll be honest,
these games sell.
If you're a fan of this franchise, you're eating good. Like, you know, you're always consistently having a Altair Sophie game. Man, they do pump them out. They pump them out a lot.
Yes, they do.
But next we have here is the Disney Classic Games Collection for PlayStation 4. Then Elden Ring for the PlayStation 5 and 4. Grid Legends for the PlayStation 5 and 4. Marble Power Blast for the PlayStation 4. Monarch, still got to start that game, guys. I still have to, actually boot that one up for the PlayStation 5 and 4. Rogue Book for the PlayStation 4 and Ultra Food Mess for the PlayStation 4. So those are the games for the week, man. Quite a few games here that came out. Got a few bangers here with Elden Ring. I think Monarch is going to be a banger for those people that like that type of Persona-type style gameplay.
Yeah, Monarch is good. Monarch is good.
So
let me get these super chats real quick before we get into the spotlight. King Kiso, man, appreciate you. He says, shout out to WUPS and Sacred Symbols, some of the best content creators on YouTube. Thank you, King Kiso. Appreciate you. And then Andre Wilkins, appreciate you. Says, sup, PlayStation Nation. Like the podcast Colin did on MJ's Thriller album.
Oh, thank you.
Shout out.
Good. Yeah, I do a podcast with my brother every week called Knockback. It's our smallest podcast by far, but it's a passion project for us. We've been doing it for like 5 years, and we just it's a random topic every week from the retro scene. And we did Michael Jackson's 1982 record Thriller. It was awesome. I love that.
One of the most iconic albums ever created. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's my cleaning music.
And then Vedra, thank you so much for the super chat. It says, Colin, who is...
Yo, Colin, we're not going to judge you on this answer, but we're going to judge you on this answer.
Yeah, we're not going. Okay. All right. So Venture says, Colin, who is the strongest Avenger, Hulk or Thor?
Oh my God, my audience knows that I don't know anything about superheroes. Hulk or Thor? Wouldn't Thor technically be more powerful? Like, isn't he isn't he supernatural? Like Hulk is like a man who turns into a beast, right? But isn't Thor like some sort of legendary mystical character of some sort?
Talk to him, Colin. Talk to him.
Listen, Thor is definitely strong. He comes from Asgard or whatever, and he's definitely a mystical or a powerful being, omnipotent.
Look at Persona. Look at Persona. He's trying to damage control.
Hulk is he's the strongest in the universe. Hulk. One of Hulk's abilities is invincibility, right? So
Thor has that too.
Invincible, but exactly. So you can't kill Hulk. The more damage you do to him, the stronger he gets, the more angry he gets, and his power is limitless. And he's invincible and indestructible.
No, he's not.
you can't destroy that. How do you destroy something that cannot be destroyed?
Just for facts, because I know Colin's is a man of facts. Veja, you know what you did, and I appreciate it. But he's a man of facts. The creator himself, my man, shout out to rest in peace, Stan Lee, says Thor would absolutely win. He's the strongest Avenger, point blank, period. But Persona, for some strange reason, wanna harken upon invincibility. Like
that's because Stan Lee didn't want to disappoint you, Thor fanboys. So he had to say that to save face. You understand? That's all I'm saying, man.
But Colin, well answered, sir. You're a man of culture. Just
yeah, I'm trying to sort it out logically. I mean, there is a funny connection to Hulk and PlayStation, though, in that the founder of Podcast Beyond, Jeremy Dunham, who's now the vice president of Psyonix, the Rocket League studio, is a massive Hulk fanboy, and I always think of him when I think of the Hulk, because his whole desk at IGN was like covered with that stuff. But I don't know anything about it, so I'm sorry.
Hulk fans are very hardcore. Like they get the tattoos, they got the statues, they got all of that there. But it's just the facts. Thor is definitely better. But Persona.
Yes.
Colin's the guest here, man. Colin, we have a segment on the show called the Spotlight Game for the Week. Do you have a spotlight game to recommend to the PlayStation Nation this week?
Yeah, I think the game that I was, other than Horizon, that I've been messing around with is that game Infernax. It comes Infernax, INFERNAX, comes from Berserk Studios. It is a love letter to Castlevania 2. If anyone is a fan of the NES is my favorite console ever, and Castlevania 2 is a really underrated Castlevania entry, actually kind of a looked down upon entry in the game, but I think a really important influence on Symphony of the Night, which would in turn become the most important Castlevania game. And so Infernax is just a real ode to it, and it's super fun, it's super good, and people that know that Castlevania 2 will just see all the many odes to it. Very similar to the you could see, like, it's very similar to the Bloodstained spin-off games that were obvious odes to Castlevania 3. Okay. These are obvious odes to Castlevania 2. So I've really been digging Infernax. And speaking of trying to get people on the show, I reached out to those guys and wrote them a letter, because I was like, this game is just something else, and I'm trying to get them on our show, but we'll see if that happens or not. But that is my recommendation.
Infernax. I'm gonna look into that. Infernax.
Yeah, I could definitely tell, like, this is a Colin game, because somebody that loves like the Castlevania, Mega Man for sure. Like, I can definitely see. Oh yeah,
I love 2D. If I had to choose 2D or 3D, I'd pick 2D. So it's the games that I co-own a studio, we only make 2D games. That's all we'll ever make, and I'd rather play games in 2D. So if you don't have, thankfully we don't have to choose, but if we did have to choose, that's what I would choose. So, and shout out to Infernax, of course, Horizon. But I'm sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, I think in terms of 2D, I still have that love for 2D as well. I think turn-based RPGs, I would love them to kind of stay in that 2D type of.
Persona, we gonna talk about it.
I'm getting way ahead. I know I'm getting way ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, you'll like
brought
what
up 2D. So
yeah, I see you guys have news about that, but you also like that game 6, which is our 6th game, is a 16-bit style JRPG. So you'll like what we're coming out with. That won't be ready until 2024 though.
Oh yeah,
we're excited about that one.
I can't wait to see that.
You're into the game creation as well with Hybrixia. Is it Hybrixia?
Yeah, I co-own. Yeah, I Hybrixia. Yeah, I co-own Lilymo. I'm the writer of our games. I don't do any of the hard work, but I write all the games. Actually, our game Twin Breaker basically predicted recent events, global events. People have been circulating that. It's hysterical. It's not meant to, but it does. Because I say I in the story of that game, the United States, like, there's a world war in which the United States refuses to take part in. So people have been like copying the opening sequence and all of that. But it's fun. So but we only make 2D games, and our new game, we're announcing our new game imminently. Actually, it'll be funny to say on this show, but we've pitched our game to our new game to Game Pass. We want to see how it works. So
nice.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're interested to find out. We don't know what we don't know. I am skeptical that Game Pass is good for the industry. I've said that many times on our show. It's not just because it's an Xbox product. I think it forces the prices down and creates lowest common denominator gamers that say, what? Oh, I'll wait for it to come on Game Pass. And as a game developer, that's really bad for me. So we want to know what we don't know. And by getting a game on Game Pass, maybe we're wrong, and maybe it'll be the best thing that ever happened to us. So
You get the
we'll only know
you get the
that way.
personal experience.
Right, exactly.
And you also get to see the process to see if it's really something you want to continue to do. So
Right, exactly. Because our games
Yeah.
all be on Xbox either way, so we might as well just
Yeah.
see, you know, what do we exchange for that? Do they need timed exclusivity for a check? I mean, that's something that we would be very interested in because it'll help pay for the next game.
Yep.
So we'll find out.
it's good to hear.
Yep. So Persona spotlight game
Yes,
for
sir.
this week, sir. What you got?
I'm not going to break the rules this week. I'm not going to break the rules.
No breaking the rules this week. I got you. Okay.
So my spotlight game for this week is Destiny 2: The Witch Queen.
Uh-oh.
Now, it was tough between Horizon, Elden Ring, and Babylon, all this other stuff. That's obvious, especially because we're going to be talking about Horizon soon. Destiny 2: Witch Queen, I completed the campaign for that over this week. That campaign is probably the best campaign that Bungie has done for the Destiny series as a whole. So I'm saying from D1 to now, the Witch Queen expansion campaign is done so beautifully. It's got its surprises. The storytelling is good. The buildup is good. The final boss fight is really, really fun, really good, really challenging, especially if you're playing on legendary campaign. Very challenging, very fun to do. And you really learn a lot about Savathun and the Hive world and how she got the ability for her to use the light from the Traveler and become a guardian. Learning all of that and see how that happened was really, really done very well for Bungie. They did that really good. So I really enjoyed that campaign. And then the end game for that, obviously the raid comes out next week, right? So that's going to be really good. I believe we're going to be fighting against the Witness. And I don't want to give away too much for those that might want to go and play the Witch Queen campaign. But the Witness, there's some mentions of the Witness through the Savathun campaign in terms of their interactions. So that'll be interesting as well. But also a lot of the end game missions, the exotic quests and things like that to get a lot of the new weapons, the strikes. This expansion was this chock full of content between the expansion and the new season of the Rise. There's a lot of content that you can do and a lot of things going on in the game. So for me, Destiny 2: Witch Queen,
I want to ask you this.
definitely is my spotlight. Go ahead.
How long is the expansion? That far story content.
The story is about, if you're playing it, I played it on Legendary. So me and Highs, we played it on Legendary. It took maybe 11 hours.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, about 10 to 11 hours.
People that bought the game or they bought the expansion, I saw people posting up the same day, like, "I'll finish the expansion." I was like, "Whoa!" What the hell?
The expansion came out at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the hardcore Destiny people were definitely beating it in a day, but I would still say between 9 and 11 hours.
Okay, all right.
It's tough. Yeah, it's a lot.
I ain't gonna question the Destiny and the Destiny fan base.
The boss fight, plus the reason why this campaign is so great as well. The layers to the missions the mission structure in this game, in this campaign, very layered, but also the boss fights that you fight at the end are very different, in terms of like regular Destiny tropes. It's different in terms of like there's more mechanics. So they kind of feel like you're fighting mini raid bosses because of the mechanics that they added to the boss fight. So it's no more just shoot or whatever and dodge around and kill some ads or whatever. There's actually some mechanics to it now that kind of fits a raid type of style, which I appreciate. So I loved it.
Nice, man. I know you was gonna like that expansion. I mean, the big Destiny guy, and now that PlayStation, they're part of the PlayStation family. Maybe the story will get
exclusive.
better. Nah, they ain't gonna be no exclusive. They made it clear.
I'm kidding. I just like to say that to piss people off.
Oh yeah, okay, got you. But my
you know what they
spotlight.
say, Bari, that's not an exclusive. It's multiplayer.
Yeah. You can't say that's a PlayStation game. Yeah, I know the vibes. But mine is gonna be the typical one. Because I can't put this game down. This is so much. This game is so much better than the first one, and the first one was like a marvel in itself, in my opinion. But the way how they did everything with this game, NPCs, the abilities that Aloy can use, that she can do within battle, it's just so much, and it's so much fun to play. I gotta give it to Horizon the spotlight. I know a lot of people probably playing that right now, but let's just dive into it. Impressions, because I haven't finished the game. I think I'm close to the end, but over here we got standards. We're not going to give out a review for something we did not finish. So we're gonna call it an impression. I don't think that's a problem, guys. Gaming community, gaming industry. I don't think that's an issue or a problem to say your impressions for something that I put in 50 plus hours into the game because I didn't hit the end credits scene did not roll yet. So it's not a review, but not early impressions though, but impressions. I'm loving the game. As I said, everything that Horizon Zero Dawn has done, which was good, they have turned it up a notch by 10 in this game. Though I would say this, the game has a few like glitches, a few little bugs here. I think I've noticed more glitches and bugs in this game more than Zero Dawn. I think Zero Dawn, like my playthrough of Zero Dawn was like a perfect playthrough. I had no issues. I don't know if anybody had any issues with Zero Dawn, but that thing was flawless. But obviously with the scope of this game, how big it is, how vast it is, the stuff that you can do, you know, there's gonna be little issues here and there, but it's not to the level of like it's gonna break the immersion or it's gonna break the enjoyability of the game, in my opinion. But sometimes when I'm playing this game, I forget like, yo, Guerrilla made an open world game that looks this freaking good. Like,
Yo,
how the hell? How the hell are they doing this? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not just talking about, oh, you got a little map here. This map is huge. Every machine is so detailed where you're seeing every engine components is moving and you're just traveling and that's going through this world. Like, how are they doing this, man? It's
that
crazy.
Decima engine, man. That Decima engine is legendary, bro.
I don't know, man. I don't know how they do it, but yo, kudos to Guerrilla. I'm enjoying the game. I'm loving the game. Story-wise, up there. It just got much better where Zero Dawn is just this one little bubble here, but now with that bubble exploded and this is going everywhere. But I'm not going to spoil anything. Let me just get your thoughts. Colin, what's your thoughts if you've been playing Horizon Forbidden West?
Yeah, I'm 20 hours in maybe. I think I'm 25 or 26%.
Okay, so you're doing a lot of side missions.
Oh yeah, I'm just dicking around. I mean,
yeah.
I played Far Cry 6 which I platinumed recently, but I played it for 100 hours because I was literally just running around getting every collectible, finding every little thing for no reason. And I'm doing the same thing in Horizon because once I figured out that there's really only one missable trophy, which is the scanning all enemies trophy. So once I knew to be mindful of that, I was like, I can play very free, so I'm not even worried about the trophies, and I'm literally just because I like my platinums. So I'm literally just playing and enjoying, and I am blown away by it. First of all, I'm a little surprised about what I would consider kind of a softer critical reception than I expected the game would get.
Yeah.
Not to say that it's like people are hating on it. Everyone thinks it's great, or a lot of people do, but I look at the game and I wonder, have I ever played a game prettier than this? Have I ever played a game more alive than this? And I think that's my big takeaway. I was talking about it on Sacred, and it's certainly going to be a theme of our review discussion, is this idea that I've never seen a game have so much life in it. And everything kind of seems to, we were saying on Sacred Symbols, you know, and there's nothing wrong with this. I mean, I loved Fallout 3, but you know, in Fallout 3 where the characters, you walk up to a character, the camera zooms in, pans in on him, and then it's just him staring straight ahead with a little bit of head movement and maybe he blinks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of that's how we interact with characters, unless you're not in engine or something, and maybe there's a beautiful cutscene. And I can't believe how when Aloy talks to a random person giving her a random side quest, that not only does the side quest have like a bit of meaning, it's not just a fetch quest, but maybe a quest with a little bit more story and oomph, but that the woman's like walking around her and talking to her, and Aloy's following her and turning her body around and looking at her in the eyes as she sits down. And in other words, it's not all scripted to just exist in the world, but each thing is scripted to give you a little bit of real story, like a little blurb of the world. Yeah. And I don't know that I've played a game that does it this well. And I think that's my big takeaway. Dagan and my brother, just did Uncharted Drake's Fortune on Knockback. That will go live next week. And so in going back and I didn't play it again because I'm like, I don't need to beat this game for a 17th time, but I watched a full playthrough of it and I was like, this game looks great still. I think this game looks really great. But the one thing we were talking about were the faces and the animations, because that stuff wasn't mocap then. And now with Horizon today, it's I don't want to be too dramatic, but it's like the epitome of the power of the medium. When you're looking at these characters and you're like, holy shit, there's life in those eyes. And
Yeah.
there's oomph in that VO, and there's
you're seeing their actual impressions or their emotions for an NPC character. Like you sit down by like there's always like a lady or a guy that tell you like a rumor about, oh, there's something going on here. But even that little character right there got like expression. And I'm just like, wow. It's
awesome. Like when I just did one of those last night, I was just thinking the same thing. It's funny you say that, because she's like sitting down sewing, and Aloy just sits down next to her and on a bench next to her and kind of like leans in and talks to her. And that's like the lowest production value interaction in the entire game. And you're right, even that is well above the bounds of what games usually do. It's a really, really great game. And I think people would expect the PlayStation podcast to say that, but I would qualify to say that I just think, similar to Naughty Dog, Sony purchased Guerrilla a long time ago. They did their thing, but they brought them to the next level. And I think that they did the same thing with Naughty Dog post Jak and Daxter by setting them off on this new path. Guerrilla is a mighty force now. That's why I'm wearing my Guerrilla shirt today, although the audience can't see it, is because, shout out to them. This is at first I was like, what did you, when I first played, because the beginning gets a little slow. Time to fire is a little long. It takes a while to get into the open world, and I was wondering, like, what the fuck were you guys doing for 5 years? And then once you just play it for a few hours, it becomes very obvious what they've been doing for.
Once you hit chain scrape, this is like, oh, okay.
Once you hit brute light.
Oh, you talking
Barren
about
light? Sorry, barren light. Once
Barren
you get because that's where things kind of, and again, guys, we're not going to talk about any late game spoilers. This is very early in the game, but I think I agree with Colin where when you get to chain scrape in that whole open area, once you come down that little gondola thing, whatever the hell you call it, you kind of start to see the world, because it's very, in the very beginning, it's very linear, right? Because you evolve and you kind of going through it, and you fight that Slitherfang, and then you go to the Causian Empire, and then you go past there, and that's when the game just like opens, and it's like you kind of go and do what you're doing. You're in this big open world, and the first time I saw that, I was amazed, man. I'm playing on an LG C1 OLED,
so
true blacks. You understand? Like, it's everything is so beautiful on the PS5. And when I seen that world, I'm just like, yo, this is amazing. And Bari, we talked about this before. This kind of makes me a hypocrite, because remember how we were talking about how, these cross-gen games, I feel, are going to hold back, that PlayStation is doing is kind of holding back the development. Guerrilla kind of shot that down for me, where I'm just like, yo, I still see the next gen isms or whatever. Like, this feels next gen to me in every way, from the characters, from the conversations, from the mission structure, from the side mission structure, the machines, the world,
environment,
like it all. Yeah, the environment, the underwater exploration, which is very detailed as well, right? And seeing all of that, I'm just like, yo, I'm amazed that they create. I feel like they created two separate versions of this game for the PS4 and PS5, because the PS5 version, the textures, character models, everything is just so high quality. I'm amazed. The combat is great. I truly do love the game.
Like I've been saying, it's just like, when you sit back and it's just everything that they're doing in this game, it's just like, yo, this is an open world game. Like, you don't expect this, like, an open world game to be that detailed. You're gonna be like, oh, there's a few corners you're gonna cut. I'm pretty sure they are, but I'm not noticing it, where I'm just like, oh wow, I never really experienced something like this detailed in an open world game. I played a lot as well, but yeah, I'm loving it. I think I'm gonna finish it today. Colin, you say you're 25 hours in. Yeah, listen, you got a lot. There's a lot to do in this game, man.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. There's sometimes you're gonna have to make that decision where you're like, you know what, I got to do some story, because there's a lot.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely the same way. I like the fog on the map, obviously, and like it's fun to just punch a hole in it. Just see where you can go, and then what question marks and all these things pop up. So there'll be like old world ruins, and I'll be like, well, I guess I got to go do that now. And then when I got the staff that allows you to stab into the rocks and like explode them, that fire stuff, right? I went back and did a bunch of stuff. I'm very OCD with these games. Sometimes they break me. Famously on my show, I would talk about Witcher 3. Like that game broke me. I couldn't finish it because it was like I'd go to a question mark and then 7 more question marks would pop up, and it would just happen. And I was like, I can't manage this game, but I'm trying to slow burn it. Like I don't want to get through it too quickly. So I'm trying to just play a few hours a day and maybe control myself a little bit, because it's not going to get too much better than this, I don't think, for a while. I think that there's going to be a lot of great games out, but this is a high quality game. And you know what? I got to say this, something we instill in our audience too. It can't be overstated what the meaning of first party is when you get 100% of the money instead of 70% of the money for selling a game. This allows you to spend more money and take more time making your game. And the one thing I think about Horizon is there is no, outside of first parties, and it's not even, Microsoft has nothing remotely like Horizon as far as quality is concerned. But Nintendo, in terms of its Zeldas and all these kinds of things, once you leave the first party, there's nothing like this of this high quality, because it's not to say other studios can't do it, but it's hard for them to do it because they have to sell more copies to make back the same amount of money. They don't have the same in with the first party where Sony's going to get behind Horizon. They're gonna push
there's
it.
so many different, like, if it's multi-platform, there's too many variables to look at when it comes to developing that stuff, where it's like you can't really focus in and hone in on, this is a console, this is what we're creating, this is what we can do, and kind of build it.
That's exactly right. And this is the great advantage of PlayStation Studios. And I think there's no doubt PlayStation is well known for high quality third person games, and this is just yet another bar to surpass. And I'm totally blown away. And the fact that they made this as a cross-gen game and it started as a PlayStation 4 only game, it wasn't even supposed to be on PS5 originally, is it makes me really excited about what Spider-Man 2 is going to look like.
Oh yeah, boy. Especially Spider-Man and Wolverine only being on PS5, especially looking at how great Insomniac has been this gen, that's last gen into this gen. Coming from Miles Morales, which is, I love that world.
We got a taste of that. You know what I mean? It's like, oh wow.
Next gen only, I'm scared, man. That thing gonna look like a portal into another world.
I'm still surprised. Like, even playing Horizon on PS5 now, I'm just like, how the hell they got this on a PS4? Like, there's so much that they added here. More machines. These machines are not like no winky dinky machines. They're very detailed. They got moving mechanics.
Yeah, the animations are awesome. I bait the machines in the combat and don't fight them just so I can watch them move.
Yeah.
Like there's this one chicken like creature that like puts his feet up and like kicks at you as he flies towards you. And I'm like, these are amazing animations.
The long leg.
Yeah, long leg. Yeah,
the long legs. And then the kangaroo, I think it called looper leg or something like that. The way the kangaroo
stalker or something like that
fights, and like he jumps up like a kangaroo and slams down, and electricity comes out, and he does the kangaroo kicks, and then he does the slam with the ball on the chain and all that. I'm just like, bro, every machine that I've fought in this game, they all fight differently.
Yeah, even the Barras, the Barras is different too.
Yeah, if you fight the Apex versions or the regular, it's just like everything in this game, in terms of the machines, I have not fought a machine yet that fights the same as a previous machine that I fought of a different type. Every different type fights very differently. And I really have to give Guerrilla their kudos and their flowers, because, this is coming from Killzone. This is a studio that was known for Killzone, right? And listen, Killzone is great. Killzone 2 is one of my favorites.
I enjoy Killzone.
Killzone is great, but when you look at what they created with that, and when they were talking about it back when they first were building out Zero Dawn and how they wanted to take this leap and really take a chance here, and now it's become this to the point where I personally think, and again, I know with Elden Ring out and Breath of the Wild is on the way, and Breath of the Wild 2, and everybody loves Breath of the Wild 1. I'm not trying to take from those, right? But I think when it comes to how detailed the world is, in terms of open world, I think Killzone has set the bar there.
Horizon.
Horizon set the bar. In terms of like how detailed and beautiful it looks and stuff.
If you guys haven't done this yet, just run around for like about a minute with Aloy and then stop and just zoom in on her camera, just get her camera close and see what she does. When you get to the desert area, just look at her as she's going around.
Sweating.
Yeah, it was like, yo,
bro.
and she would complain in different, like, different little regions as well, like different climates. She would complain about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody had the same type of opinion as far as when it comes to our impressions. Horizon Forbidden West is a great game so far what we've been playing. Did it change at the end? I don't know, but that's you got to play the game to the end to find out gaming industry. Sorry, Colin. I'm going to keep taking those shots. Go. We got.
No, you ought. Yeah, I don't. You ought to. We took the same shots on our show too. It's. I don't know. When I was I reviewed hundreds of games at IGN and definitely didn't finish some of them, but it was always in the review or a part of the review. And that was rare that I didn't finish games. I saw some dude, he's not in the industry anymore, but he tweeted out, when I was in the industry, I beat maybe 10% of the games I played.
We were going to talk about that.
Oh, listen,
that's a really crazy admission. That's a pretty stunning admission, because you can look at my trophies and see how much I play and hold me to account. You should hold me to account. And I encourage my audience to do it. Just like, hold me to account. And I'm not going to,
Colin,
you can, I can't lie. It's not like when I grew up and me and my brother would keep lists of games we beat, and then my brother would admit that he just put games on the list that he never beat, and there's no way to hold you to that. It's like, now I know, man. I'm gonna look, and that's why a lot of these people hide their trophies.
Yes, yeah, you can't. Just trust me, we're gonna get into it in the topic portion, because I saw the tweet as well, and it was like, wait, I got Colin Moriarty as a guest. Oh, Persona, we gonna talk about it, because this is crazy.
We're gonna talk about that.
But we got a super chat here from Get on the Sticks. Shout out to Get on the Sticks, man. That's a cool dude right there. He said, "Morning, brothers. Keep up the good work. WUPS. Appreciate it. Get on the Sticks, man. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the show so far. We about to get into the news portion here. We're gonna save our Elden Ring impressions for like next week, because I'll be honest with you, I booted up Elden Ring. Then I'm pressing Horizon Forbidden West button, so I was pressing square. I'm running to try to R3. I was like, hold on.
Yo,
I'm not that young no more.
I was gonna say Elden Ring is a game where I'm like, yo, because I'm juggling Destiny and Horizon right now, and it's like when I play Elden Ring Friday, I played it for like an hour and a half, and I'm sitting, I'm like, no, I have to dedicate. Like when I saw how vast that open world was and how much there is, I'm like, nah, let me plot in Horizon, let me do the raid in Destiny. Then we going to jump on Elden Ring and really focus. So yeah, that Elden Ring's gonna have to wait. I put some time into it, but not enough to really give a detailed enough impressions.
Yeah, so next week we'll have our impressions on Elden Ring. But yeah, let's move on here to the news portion, because we got the PlayStation Plus games for March. So here are the PlayStation Plus games for March. We have Ghost Runner, Ark Survival Evolved, Sonic Team Racing, and a bonus one, Ghost of Tsushima Legends. So they finally incorporating Ghost of Tsushima Legends within the PlayStation Plus package, which I feel is kind of weird, because anybody that bought the game already gets that. But I'm guessing this is just like, oh, if you just have Plus, you're gonna get the online portion of
I was gonna say, specify. Let's specify, ladies and gentlemen. You're not getting Ghost of Tsushima, the game. You're getting Ghost of Tsushima Legends, which is the online a component that they made into its standalone,
which is great
game. No, it's great. It's phenomenal. I definitely highly recommend you guys do that Ghost of Tsushima raid. Do all those modes, because they're really fun. But it's only the online you're getting.
Yeah. So, which I think is large enough to keep people occupied for a couple of months. Ghost of Tsushima, you gotta love if you want to. Like, I don't know if there's gonna be trophies tied to this with the PlayStation Plus version. There's a lot of stuff you gotta do within that game. But let's review it. What do you guys feel about PlayStation Plus for March, man? Is it a good offering, or is it just like a mediocre one? What's your thoughts, Colin?
Yeah, it's better than last month's. I think PlayStation Plus. First of all, I've always loved PlayStation Plus. If people would go back, I'm sure you guys remember, not on IGN, but just remember generally, everyone hated PlayStation Plus when it came out. Everyone hated it.
Yep.
And I was early an advocate saying, before the free game stuff even started, where I was like, I was just getting crazy discounts and stuff. But I think generally speaking, since PlayStation Plus through PS4 and into PS5 is kind of required for online play, not that I do that, but that is an important component for a lot of people. The free games, I think, are usually fine and justifiable, if not great, certainly compared to the competition on Xbox Live Gold, where I'm like, where are you even digging these games up from that you're giving away for free? Like, what is this game that you're giving away? I feel like they do a decent job. I think the muddiness comes from just not really knowing with Spartacus Rumors and all of this, not really knowing what this is all going to look like soon. It's much more exciting for me to think about what PlayStation Plus is going to look like in 6 months as opposed to analyzing the games now, because what I usually do is just add them to my download list and then maybe I'll get to one or two later. But everyone complained about last month. I think that's reasonable enough. This month is much stronger. I think Ghost of Tsushima's Legends inclusion is a pretty big deal. The thing that I get mad about is when they have these cross-gen games, but they're only available on one console. This is the kind of stupid shit that Sony does that I don't really understand why you have to make it difficult for people. It's a similar thing with Horizon when it was available for 60 on PS4 and 70 on PS5. Well, I just bought it on PS4 and then I just upgraded it to PS5 for free. It's like, why did you make me do that? And they do little things like that bother me. And I think PlayStation Plus rather can be kind of brought into that fold as something that's mysterious. But I think more about like what the signals are they're sending about what they're giving away and how that might change in the future. So certainly a step in the right direction, but I generally think people are a little too hard on PlayStation Plus, because think about all of the possibilities and all of the games that aren't for you. Like Planet Coaster is supposed to be excellent, right? And that was last month, and I was like, well, I don't care about Planet Coaster, and but you know, so for me, it's we have to kind of not be so myopic, I think, and I think look at it a little.
Like
more
me
reasonably.
personally, I feel that when it comes to like these services, I think PlayStation Plus is the best deal in gaming. I know a lot of people's gonna kick me in the shins, like every Game Pass, Jay Bari, Game Pass. But if especially on the PS5 version of PlayStation Plus and what it offers, that PlayStation Plus collection off the rip of the best games of the PlayStation 4 generation, the God of Wars, the Personas, Horizons on there. I think the Last of Us remasters on there as well.
Yeah,
amazing games that's on there. You got that day one right there in the service, and the offerings, in my opinion, has been really good with the PlayStation 5 offerings. You know, last month was like, okay, you know, it's whatever, but the overall offerings I think have been really great for the last year, in my opinion. But
I think when it comes to PS Plus, I'm kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out as well, because with PS Plus, with me as in how I am, and this is not, I'm not trying to say everybody else needs to be like this. This is just my thoughts on how I think. I buy a lot of games already. You know, if I see a game that I want, I buy it, right? Like I've got like 8, 9 games pre-ordered between now and April of games that I can't wait to play and put time into, right? So when games finally do hit PS Plus, 9 times out of 10, it's a game that I've already played and put a lot of time into. Legends is a perfect example. I put hundreds and something hours, into Legends, and in, you know, Platinum, Ghost of Tsushima, and all of that. So, you know, and Ghost Runner, Lost Ark, and Sonic, if I don't own it, it's because I don't really care to. So seeing these games don't really excite me to a point where I'm like, oh yeah, you know, this is a great month. It's very rare this is a great month. It's more so when they do like the new games, like things that haven't, you know, like Oddworld or something like that, or when they did Destruction All Stars, right? As like those, hey, so for March, you're getting this brand new game. Like if they do that for Little Devil Inside or Volcano High or something, that's where I'm like, yo, this is a great month, because I buy my games. So like stuff like this doesn't really excite me as much anymore. So, but it's a cool. At the
end of the day, like when we say like, all right, what's your opinion on it? It's like, it's more like from a objective standpoint. Like subjectively, you know, we probably own these games already to buy it, but
I own it.
Think about somebody like, getting into the service or whatnot. Me personally,
I know Ghost Runner. A lot of people like that game. And
wasn't this offered on Plus before? I'm pretty sure I saw some with Ghost. No, I'm tripping.
It released on PlayStation, I think, about 5 months ago. If I'm not mistaken, it released on PlayStation.
I might be tripping. I know this is why I have like a critical like standpoint on Plus this month. Yeah, I love Ghost of Tsushima Legends, which is a great offering. I think it's smart offering like a multiplayer component, because that will get people hooked on the service, have them longer in there. But I know. Listen, I know I'm getting older. I'm 37 years old, but I'm pretty sure that Sonic Team Racing been on there before. Am I tripping?
It might have been, but personally speaking, I would much rather Crash Team or Mario Kart.
Yeah, Sonic Team Racing is actually pretty good though. It's actually a pretty good game. Ghost Runner. I don't know why am I associating this game with Plus.
They're saying it was on. The chat is saying it was on PS Now for Ghost Runner.
Okay, so that might have been it then.
I'm looking at the PS Plus games historically, and Team Sonic Racing has never been on it before.
Oh, it's never been in it. I'm sure there was like something Sonic was on there before.
There's been a lot of Sonic. There's been a lot of
Sonic Forces. Sonic, you might be thinking of Sonic Forces.
That's why.
On PS Plus a couple months back. Yeah,
that's probably.
Well, you want to get nerdy? Sonic 1 was free on PS3 in 2011. Sonic 2 was free on PS3 in 2011. Let's see.
Sonic Mania was free as well when they did the Mania back on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mania
you know
was
what?
free.
You know what? Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed was free on Vita in 2013. So maybe that's what you're remembering.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, so Sonic Mania 2019, right? And then Sonic Forces in 2020, right?
Yep.
So there it is.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah,
I love looking at that list.
I think the offering is pretty cool now that we have like a clarification there as far as the game. So yeah, I think it's pretty good. Ghost Runner, I think this is like one of those like running type games. I don't know what to describe it.
So you think Ghost Runner is one of those running type games?
No, from the gameplay, it's like Mirror's Edge.
It's like Mirror's Edge, yeah.
But I don't know what to call. What would you call Mirror's Edge? Like, what's the genre you would call that?
Platformer.
Okay.
Yeah. First person platforming. Yeah. Because that's what Mirror's Edge was. And Ghost Runner, you doing a lot of jumping off walls, looping onto chains, and all that crazy stuff. So yeah, I would say first person platformer.
Action platformer.
What is that that Nintendo Switch game that came out? It was this Shinobi game where it's pretty much like Hotline Miami. He's just like running through and he's like slicing up these enemies. I forgot the name.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It's like very lo-fi, right?
Yeah.
Like what? Yeah, I saw this a couple weeks ago. I forget the name.
That's what I think. Like
Ghost Runner. Ninja GX or something like that.
Somebody in the chat will probably put in it. It came out for the Switch for it pretty much like a long time ago. It came out on the Switch. It's cool game. I have it. I can boot it up on my Switch right now. This is what Ghost Runner reminds me of, that game, but that's like in a much more 3D, high quality type thing. Yeah. Ark Survival. Shout out to my man Dizzy. Rest in peace, Dizzy. From the Iron Lords podcast. Dizzy always used to DM me and talk about this game right here, Ark Survival. I was like, Dizzy, I'm not playing it. But
it's supposed to be very good. That's it. Isn't that the studio Wildcard that what's his name? The actor, Vin Diesel. He's like,
Vin Diesel.
Oh yeah, he's like doing the new one.
Yeah,
but he's like the COO of the company or something now, right? Or not the chief, the chief creative officer or something of the team. Yeah, something weird. Like, I'll look it up. Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yo, there you go. Mondo got it. Katana Zero.
Katana Zero. Yeah. Okay, I remember that. Well, Vin Diesel, he said he's really into gaming. Like,
Vin Diesel joined Studio Wildcard as executive producer on Ark.
Wow.
From Games Industry Biz in 2004.
That's pretty dope.
That's kind of crazy because he kind of embarrassed himself when he came on the Game Awards talking about.
It wasn't him. Well, hold on.
It wasn't him.
It wasn't him. It was Michelle Rodriguez.
Takan.
Tight kid and all.
Well, I don't know if you guys have seen it. Vin Diesel has like significant nerd cred from like when he was an early actor. You can find a lot of the stuff on YouTube. He would go to like Toy Fair, and I don't know if you guys have been to, those industry shows where, well, you have been. You've been to industry shows and games where there's guys and girls trying to show you things and everything. He was like doing that with Street Sharks and random ass shit.
Oh wow!
At this, and then of course, Chronicles of Riddick he drove that, and that was an early original Xbox game. That
I remember
based on Pitch Black, which was a sci-fi movie. So he's got some credibility in games, much more than, let's say, Tom Holland, who described Nathan Drake as someone in which people wanted to see him flex or something. And whatever the fuck he said. It's like, no, I don't think they do, dude.
Yeah, I think him and the surprise is Henry Cavill. He's really big into gaming too. That surprised me.
Yeah,
he just went to the Warhammer studio.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Seen that.
Cool.
I'm like, wow, like he's really he's really into this too. That's
pretty beast.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a game I wish, because I never got to play that game. The Riddick game. Like I love the movies, the Chronicle of Riddick's Pitch Black, Riddick.
Pitch Black is so good. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it
I
is,
never got
yeah.
to play that Riddick game on 360, and I wish they would like remaster or remake that game because that game.
Yeah, that was Butcher Bay or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was good. Yeah, that was good too. I remember in the original, what I remember at the original Riddick were the collectibles in the game were cigarette packs, which I thought was cool.
That's dope.
That would never fly now.
No, I don't think so.
Nah, I wouldn't. Not at all. Not even if you make it a mature rated game, they still not gonna do that.
Nope. So we don't have the full list of PlayStation Now games, but we have a interesting article here from the blog where Shadow Warrior 3 will be entering PlayStation Now day one. It's gonna be a launch title for PlayStation Now. This is also leaving people to speculate about Spartacus. We've seen a lot of rumors coming out. We've seen people put up their pricing tiers and all that stuff because of this article came out. But this is a big move here, man. A game actually launching day one in PS Now. I think this is the first game to do that, right? Am I tripping?
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Colin.
Well, I was just gonna say that was what I thought too. And then Dustin did say, and he's right, that if you break up the Grand Theft Auto collection a la carte, GTA 3 launched on PS Now.
Oh yeah, that is true. 3 and
So, but
Vice. No, not Vice.
Right,
3.
And then Vice is coming now, I think, and then San Andreas later. But generally speaking, yeah, this is the first time. What I was so surprised about was that they didn't make this a big deal. If you didn't read the article, you would have never known that they were doing this. It's like in the second or third paragraph or something like that. So,
Yeah.
very weird.
I think when it comes to this, kind of like how we were talking earlier about kind of lowering that bottom line of putting shoehorning everything into a service. It kind of lowers that quality ceiling or whatever. Things like this that probably don't cost as much to make. I feel like that stuff can probably fly a little bit more. But when you're thinking bigger budget titles, personally speaking, especially if we're looking at it from the PlayStation side of things, I just don't see that as being something that is financially feasible because of the time and money that's being put into this, right? Like I feel like if Horizon was coming day and day into a service, I don't know, I just feel like something like that would just, it wouldn't be as grand, or it wouldn't be as much as it is right now. So
yeah,
this is cool. It is what it is.
Yeah, I like
we'll
the
see
Shadow Warrior
we'll see what
game,
happens
too.
later. Yeah, Shadow Warrior is cool.
The first game was cool. The second game was cool. The third game looks cool as well. Very, very cool. I don't even know if I want to say it's a smaller game. I know it's not like a huge, big budget like Zero Forbidden West, but it is actually a very fun game. But yeah, like I said, we're leaning into the second part of it. People are anticipating, or not anticipating, but speculating that this could be, a thing for the new service, Spartacus, that PlayStation is gonna be pushing. Do you see that type of inkling in it with this?
Well,
It's still listing it as PS Now, launching in PS Now.
This is the thing though. PlayStation has taken away the PS Now thing. PlayStation has been releasing brand new games and a service for years.
Yeah, with
PS Plus. So this isn't really something new. What I think this might be is just them bringing that model over to PS Now to make that more enticing, especially if they're going the Spartacus route and trying to create these tiers to entice more people to get the higher tiers or whatever they're trying to do. This might be them kind of starting to shift the focus to everything PS Now and PS Plus when it comes to new games releasing into it, to kind of pull people into the Spartacus service. But new games have been releasing in PS Plus for years.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just going to add. You're totally right. I think this is an interesting signal again about what their intentions are. You're totally right. It's a great point. We've talked about it on our show that Shadow Warrior 3 is only on PS4. So this plays well with PlayStation Now, which doesn't work functionally with PS5 games. So it allows them to explore and experiment, and it's likely a signal of things to come. It's a little confusing with how it adds up with them apparently taking PlayStation Now, money cards out of the UK and taking them off of store shelves and all of that. Are they starting to just show inclinations? And why didn't they say this more loudly is the other question. You would think that this would have been you would literally think that the headline on PlayStation blog would be Shadow Warrior 3 comes to PlayStation now, day one. But it's
I saw it as
it's
a
literally
tweet.
not. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it was an after tweet. Like they tweet about
Yeah.
Shadow Warrior and all the gameplay mechanics, and then it was like, oh, I guess guys, it's coming to PS Now day one. I don't see PlayStation really marketing PS Now like that. It's more like a, hey, this is a luxury service that you have. If you want it, we have catalog content. Go at it if you want to divulge into those older content or PlayStation 4 content. Because you brought up a great point, Colin. Because I like the series, but the fact that it was only on PlayStation 4, it got me to hesitate a little bit. Like, yo, am I gonna get this? You know what I mean? Because I kind of want that PS5 vibe. You know what I mean? So it would be cool to have this on PS5, but I'm already a PlayStation Now subscriber, so I guess I'm gonna try it out anyway, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, this Shadow Warrior day one. Anybody that's interested in the game, I think it costs like $40. It doesn't. It's not full retail price, but it's like $40 for the game. And if you're already a PlayStation Now member, you can go ahead and I guess play on the 25th of March, which is a crazy month. I hope we all can keep up in March, man, because Jesus, February was tough. Let's get it in March. But any last words with this PlayStation Now, Spartacus? Anything? Do you think the rumors are true? Oh, should we pull up the rumors real quick?
The ones from Jeff Grubb?
Yeah, from Jeff Grubb. I don't think I listed it here, but since we're already in that talk.
Yeah, I saw on VentureBeat, Grubb, he detailed the structure of how the Spartacus apparently rumored is going to be and what the offerings are going to be for each tier. And I mean, I need this. I like these rumors. I hear these rumors, and I'm seeing it and all this. I just want PlayStation to kind of put that stuff out. And the reason why I say it's just because I don't know. It seems all over the place. Like if you're going to be having PS2 and PS1, PS2, PS3 content or whatever the case may be, I want them to say that, right? Because back to something that Sean Layden has said when we were talking to him, where he was saying that the idea of PS Now was meant to be catalog content for old games. So to kind of keep up that whole preservation thing that people care so much about, PS Now is a way of doing that. And from what we see from what Nintendo's doing, that whole preservation thing, you want to play. I wouldn't be surprised if once Nintendo store shut down, 3DS games are going to be in that Nintendo Online. I guarantee it. There's no way they're shutting all that shit down and not having that be available in a subscription-like model. So I think what PlayStation is doing with this whole Spartacus thing is, hey, people's got this whole nostalgia craze. You're gonna pay for it. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna pay for it. I do believe that.
Yeah, I think
how they do it. I don't know.
Outside of Microsoft, the Japanese typhoons or the icons, the PlayStation and Nintendo. Yeah, they're doing that with their old content. You know what I mean? I agree with you with that. But here are the plans that Jeff Grubb. Shout out to Jeff Grubb. He was a guest on here as well, like last year. And this by the way, this is not like factual or anything. This is just like a report coming out, or like I guess rumors that's coming out. And this is the breakdown. I want to ask Colin, does this breakdown make any sense to you as well? Because it's going to start out here at $10 and goes up to $16. So there's 3 tiers where there's PlayStation Plus Essential, PlayStation Plus Extra, and PlayStation Plus Premium. Where in PlayStation Plus Essential is just pretty much monthly games, pretty much what you have now with PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Plus Extra is monthly games, game catalog for $13. So I'm guessing that's PlayStation Plus and PS Now combined. And then there's PlayStation Plus Premium, which is monthly games, game catalog, streaming, which that's what PS Now already is, right? Is you have the game catalog and you also can stream every game that's in there, which this kind of threw me off when I saw this. Classic games, game trial for $16, which game trials you already get with PlayStation Plus. I'm kind of confused here with a lot of the things because it seems like they're taking some stuff that you already can get from Plus and then just breaking it down into the premium program. But this is not anything factual. But I just want to get your thoughts on Colin. What you think about this on the breakdown, and does it make any sense?
It makes sense. It's a lot to explain, and I think I can see a situation where PlayStation Plus becomes the lowest of three things that they offer. And the lowest possible thing is PlayStation Plus, in which you just get your free games, what you get now, online play, etc., cloud saving, which is important to me. I don't know if anyone else uses it, but I use it. I update my shit constantly. I'm constantly doing it.
I need that.
Yeah, like I do it manually when I'm done every time I play a game because I'm so paranoid about my saves. But so I can imagine a floor where that was represented, and then you can imagine that they're going to split PS Now into two with this, where they're going to say the PlayStation Now streaming component is now going to be a more premium thing, and what we're going to do is we're going to liberate games below it, because you can already do that. You can already download games, PS2 and PS4 games. So maybe this will be allowed for PS1 and PSP games and PS3 games. I mean, I have no idea. That's what I imagine is that mid-tier is just the entire catalog available, because he says something in the report like that there are 300 games or something. That's not, there are more games than that, I think, in PS Now, but that's kind of what I was thinking. And then the third one was, it seems like that will be the full backwards compatible suite and streaming and PlayStation Plus and the back hat and the like more recent PSN catalog and all of that. So I think you'll have to pay like that $16, in my opinion. What I would imagine is you'll pay that top tier to get access to the backwards compatibility. And what I'm curious about, and just as a trophy whore, is, are you gonna put trophies on these bad boys? Because if you do, then that's gonna be a fucking bonanza for a lot of people. If they don't, then I don't actually know how interested I am to go back and play these games again.
I'll tell you this: if they put trophies, because they kind of promised that with the beginning of PlayStation Now, when it was like, oh, PS1 games and PS2 games going to be in there. I remember hearing trophy support as well coming into it.
Well, they have a patent for it. They have a patent about how they would do it. That's why people talk about it too. They just haven't executed it.
That will be stellar, because easily the premium package would have been there, because I'll go back for sure, because there's some games that I can just run through these games at PS1 games, and just easy platinum that stuff. I would easily subscribe to that any day with that. But yeah, that would be a great little offering there. That would be like the cherry on top.
I just don't want them to half-ass this, right? If they're really gonna go with this whole tier list thing, when they do finally like officially announce it and whatnot, I just hope that they are very clear in their messaging and they're very upfront with what the offerings are across the board, so that there's no what ifs, or you know how people get where, well, what about this? Well, what about that? What's going on with it? Like, you know, like I just want them to answer all questions there on the spot, or in like whatever article or blog that they do. Yeah.
Not an article, but a dedicated, not dedicated, but have a PlayStation what's the thing called, State of Play talking about this as well.
Nah, man, say that for games. like you could do. Listen, people could read. Do a blog article, kind of like how they did with PlayStation VR or whatever. Just do a blog article detailing all of the tiers, and just a very detailed article, because that can't be disputed. It's all there. It's in black and white, and it's all there for everyone to read and see.
You know,
you got
some
the
people
charts
don't like to read,
and all
though,
that.
man. Some people.
But you can have it's like the little girl saying, "Why not both?" Like you can have the PlayStation blog post. Like I think a State of Play, in my opinion, is essential if they do something like this, because you have to imagine the excitement. Remember back in the day when Nintendo was doing Virtual Console and they'd announce like 2 games a week, and people started getting annoyed about it after a while. It's like, where are why don't you just release the games? And then, but they have this opportunity for constant marketing where they can just drop games slowly on the service, and they can say like, look, we have Siphon Filter and Colony Wars and I don't know, Dark Cloud, or Dark Cloud's already available, but whatever they want to bring up, it just seems like that. And here's how it works, and here's what it looks like. And I think there's a potential for, if not a State of Play, maybe some sort of extended narrated trailer, very similar to PlayStation, like when PlayStation Network was shown and PlayStation 4 was shown and all of those things. But I don't know, man. I agree with you 100%. Sony's advantage is quality. That is going to be their advantage moving forward, and they must stick with good communication and high quality offerings that make sense. Anything else won't do because they have a competitor that is willing to shove them in a fucking garbage can at the slowest, at the soonest possible moment, because they want to get everyone on subscriptions. So if you want to play that game, you need to do it your own way.
Yeah. And the reason why I think PlayStation has that big advantage with the classic games is because between PS1 and PS2, there's so many classics on there that aren't available. Where if they play their cards right and they have the trophies for those games as well, people are gonna eat that up, man. They're gonna eat that up.
Yeah, I agree. You don't have to release it all at once. I think just trickling games on there, trophy support, PlayStation blog posts, remembrances. Imagine being able to tap into. See, this is where the marketing comes in and why I think PlayStation is so disappointing with this sometimes. You're an old brand now. Start tapping into it a little bit more. Start celebrating this old stuff. We saw it a little bit with Medieval in 2020. Obviously, PlayStation All-Stars tried to do it, but like start tapping into it. Have like real celebratory posts. We're bringing back this. We're bringing back that. We're doing this and we're doing that. And even games like Resistance: Fall of Man getting trophies would be a really big deal. People have been asking for that for years.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh my God, I've been wanting that game back for so long.
When Metal Gear Solid 4 got trophies, like 7 years after it came out or something, and I was like, all right, there are no more excuses. But they still
because people actually rebought the game too. It was like, oh, what trophies?
Yep.
Buy that.
Well, Fall of Man has a built-in achievement system. They just had to overlay trophies. Insomniac told me a long time ago they just didn't, when they were independent, they just didn't want to pay the recertification fees. It's
But now we'll see if they look back at it, man, because
they've been teasing Resistance for a minute, man. I think Insomniac is working on.
They does everything that Colin just mentioned. Like they were like, hey guys, we're playing Resistance: Fall of Man. Like, yo, remember the days? Yeah, they would go back and hype up their old stuff. Oh man,
nostalgia's a drug, dude. You got to take advantage of it if you're in this space. You have that advantage that your competitor in Xbox just doesn't have. They have a few games in their history, but they're not very old and they don't have a super proud history of stuff. So take advantage of that. You have to play where your opponent is weak. And we'll see if they get that or not.
I agree. So Persona.
Yeah.
Colin, my first PlayStation experience was in 2015. And the sole reason why I went to this PlayStation experience is so I can get some experience with VR. And I'm a huge fan of PlayStation VR. I just don't like hooking it up. But especially with the PS5, where the PS5 you don't really have that much inputs to put all these plugins and stuff for. You got to take away a few things. So it didn't get so much burn on the PlayStation 5, but huge fan of PlayStation VR. I loved a lot of games, and now they have finally done what we've been asking for, and they've done it in a really cool way because I like the cohesiveness of like all the PlayStation products, especially with PS5. They're all designed the same, even from the charging station. It's designed how the PlayStation 5 look. The controller looks like the color scheme of the PlayStation. Like, it's really, really cool, the headset. And the PlayStation VR is no different here, where this is the first introduction, the first reveal of PlayStation VR 2. What's your thoughts, guys? What is your thoughts? Is this a looker?
Colin, start us off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it looks great. I mean, I'm just excited about. I'm the same way about PSVR. I think it's awesome, and when it's hooked up, I love it. But I don't want to hook it up. I don't want it out. It's so annoying and cumbersome. There's so many cords in the processor box, and it's nuts. It's I'm not very smart. You got to give me things a little bit more simplistic, and I think PSVR 2, that's the most attractive thing to me. There's just a USB-C cord coming out of it. That's it. And you can't. I know some people want it to be wireless, but I think it is a canny move to wire it because it allows them to really maximize the power of the unit and maximize the leverage of the PS5 into the unit without having to cut any corners. This is going to be a very high-end, maybe expensive machine. I talked to this guy Tom on Moore's Law is Dead, a popular YouTube channel about tech. He's on the show every once in a while, and he said, I think on our show, that this thing could potentially be more expensive than the PlayStation 5, which would be interesting. I hope that they don't do that. But there's a lot. Again, maybe it's just the way my mind works. Maybe it's a trend, but I'm more excited about not excited, but interested in the analysis of when this thing comes out, because they don't say in the blog post, but they don't say anything. So they leave it open. And the other thing is that I think we're so supply constrained with certain components right now that manufacturing PSVR2 might come at the sake in some way of PS5, and they need to figure out how they balance that and what's more important to get out. And I was reading an anecdote about the Uncharted film recently, where on Deadline, the movie publication, they were saying that Sony made a really smart move, and they were saying that Sony was considering selling off basically the Uncharted movie to another broker so that they can just get the movie out, make some of their money back. They were scared. Instead, they did what they said was they protected it and waited and held it, and they executed it at the very right time. And what ended up happening was that we know the movie is a hit, and it's certainly going to get a sequel. And I think that with PSVR 2, they just need to take a similar tack. They probably need to start manufacturing them at some point, but you don't need to release them until you're absolutely ready. The software has to be ready. The marketing has to be ready. The execution has to be ready. And you have to have enough PS5s out there to make it worth it. And so I think that they set these plans into motion before COVID. And I don't think it's going to work out quite the way they think it was going to in terms of timing. But they have this very powerful machine on their hands and this very powerful headset. They just need to marry them at the right moment, because you only get one shot. It's very rare to have a relaunch. Like Sega Genesis was relaunched.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic didn't exist in the beginning. Sega Genesis came out in 1989. No one cared. It wasn't until 91 Sonic and the re-release of Genesis that people cared. That's very rare to get a restart. So they got to make sure that they just get it out there in the right way. And until they're ready to do that, they should hold off and make sure that they support PS5 first.
Do you think we'll see PSVR 2 in 2022, or you think this gets pushed out to 2023?
No, I would imagine it's going to be a 2023 thing. They have God of War this fall. I don't think they need to worry about anything this fall. I think they need to focus on their marketing in that regard, get these machines out the door. They're already going to underperform. They've already announced that they're not going to make as many consoles as they thought. They're selling every console they can. I don't know. I think that it doesn't hurt to wait. What was really cool about PSVR, and I'm sure you guys remember, was it had a pretty strong launch lineup.
Oh yeah,
it had a lot of games. And the PSVR didn't launch with it launched with the PS4 Pro simultaneously.
It launched the same month. It was earlier than the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah. So they kind of, because remember they were trying to kind of show off that power of the Pro, and PSVR working with the Pro and all that, and because I had got both at the same time, and I was like, yo, I gotta have this. Like, it's amazing, right? I do agree with you, Colin, in terms of finding the right time to release this, but also not rushing, right? Because you can't even get no PS5s out. Like people are still struggling, and I think their sales projection for this year was supposed to be 22 million for Q3. Or was this Q2, Q1, or whatever? But it got pushed down to, I think, 17 or 18 million, right? So it's still selling like hotcakes, but it's not at the projections that they want. So I feel like the focus should be PlayStation 5, but the PSVR, the way it looks phenomenal. The vents, having the vents on there so that it can stay cool, and the controllers. I love how the controllers look like it. I can't wait to actually hold that and try that out. And the one cord I think is essential. Like I just think that the setup for PSVR 1 is I hated it, man. The processor, all of it. It got to the point where I didn't set it up no more during the PS Store time, because I'm just like, yo, it's just too much. So I missed out on Moss, and I'm gonna miss out on Moss too, because I'm not gonna play those until PSVR 2 is out, right? So it looks like they're going in the right direction with this design. The specs we already know this thing looks like it's going to be an absolute beast in terms of the specs with the headset. And really, the games I think is going to have a pretty solid lineup as well, because we already know about the Horizon game that's going to be coming out. I'm pretty sure it's a couple of other games. GT7 obviously will be PSVR 2 enabled. I'm pretty sure.
This is the one thing they haven't answered yet when it comes to PSVR 2. Is it backwards compatibility or backwards compatible with the older VR, first VR games? I'm assuming it's going to be, but they just haven't officially said it themselves. No. Well, I'm in a disagreement with you guys when it comes to the VR and how they should do it. I think The iron is hot. Strike it. Launch it this year, 2022 holiday season. You know what I mean? VR is definitely growing now. And I'm like this. Like I understand the waiting point, because waiting, there's nothing wrong with waiting, but sometimes you can miss that boat as far as like, okay, when do consumers actually want this product? You know, I do agree with the whole marketing push, and they have been marketing this thing without even showing the headset. You remember they started this thing from last year.
With just a page of
with just a page and text, and then it was like, oh, here's the controller, and then here's some games that's coming out for this console that we haven't even seen the headset yet. They've been pushing this VR thing a little bit, but I feel also with the game offerings too. They've been offering PlayStation Plus games, and here's some VR titles. I guess that's to keep people like, hey man, the VR stuff, try these stuff out. You know, we have a new one coming out soon or something like that. I don't know what's the mindset behind it, but I'm assuming that's it. But I think it would be smart for them to launch it this year in 2022. But you guys do make good points as far as, you know, there's no real PS5s out there. This is not going to be on the PlayStation 4. So I understand those points as well. But by the time holiday season comes, what are they at right now? 17.2 million? Right?
Yeah, we'll get new. I don't know. Well, the number, we're so far away from accurate numbers now because their numbers are through December 31st. So yeah, it's we'll get new numbers at the end of next month.
Like, yeah, what would be a good point for them to be like, okay, now we're going to start selling PlayStation VR? Where you got to hit like 30 million or 25?
I think you have to, in my opinion, you have to trend above PS4 again, because the PS5 is trending behind PS4 now in sales, not because of a popularity, but because they can't make enough.
Okay.
And so I worry about PSVR is for the hardcore PlayStation fan, but I worry about a segment of the hardcore PlayStation fans that are like, we can't find a console and now you're trying to sell us this thing, you know, or I had to scalp a console and now you're trying to sell us this. I don't know. I think they have a lot to think about. It's multidimensional. And it's like I said, I think that the plans were set in motion before COVID. So if they're intractable about their plans, then they're stupid. They should do what they need to do, but they need to take stock of what's going on right now. And I also think the pricing is going to be a problem because inflation is out of control. If they didn't lock these, if they're not manufacturing these things yet, then they're not necessarily locked into the pricing for components. Then they might get screwed around. I mean, who the hell knows what's going to happen in the value of silicon chips and the threat of geopolitics. What's going on in Ukraine might be germane to the industry because it might convince China to move on Taiwan, which would have a huge effect on that. I mean, there's a lot of things that they need to think about. And that's what's so fascinating about running a $1 billion operation.
Yeah, I think the $400 to $500 price tag is where I had it initially. But if we're adjusting for inflation, and if things are really getting out of control and all that craziness, I could see 600. You know, I could really see this thing being $700 because of inflation and because of all that craziness. I could definitely, it's feasible. Yeah,
and the thing is with this VR, this is not for like the entry level. You know what I mean? Like the specs says differently because they're going all out with the specs wise for this. And a lot of I'm thinking about what you guys are saying, and it does make sense because the marketing for PlayStation VR has been different. VR2 has been different than 1. Because even when we got the actual, this is the entire headset. This is the headset here, but there's no pricing structure, no release date. They're trickling the news, slow dripping the news. Because I'm guessing that they don't really know when it's going to launch. You know what I mean? But they want to keep people anticipating, get people excited about it. Hey, we have a product coming, but we just don't know yet. But here's some news about it. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of weird that here we have this console or the headset, the controller. But there's no pricing, you know, even there yet. And
also remember, I mean, I just read that they had basically just signed an agreement for manufacture on the OLEDs in the PSVR2 a couple of weeks ago with the firm. So they don't know. They have no idea how much they're going to charge for this thing. I think that it cannot cost more than the console. That was my rule for the original PSVR. They hit that number, and I think that you can't sell a peripheral that is worth more than the base console.
Which console?
You can do it.
Oh, the base one. So you're saying
I'm saying what
digital? The disc. The disc is 500. So let's give them that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I should say I'm saying in terms of like you can't sell like Genesis wasn't selling 32X for twice as much as Genesis was. It didn't. You can't you have to make sure that people can afford the base product first, and then not overspend on this peripheral that they're going to be skeptical about, because who knows. I'm glad we brought up that Horizon game, because that Horizon game is bigger than anything that's been announced or is on PSVR already. And that's a big deal, because it shows that they're going to, they bought Fire Sprite probably in part because of that. So yeah, there's a lot to be interested in here. But again, many questions. And I would imagine the backwards compatibility is a given, because it would be pretty shitty to allow developers like Moss 2's coming out very late in PSVR's life to release a game there in which it will not work on the next one.
Well, I think Moss devs confirmed that Moss 2 would work with PSVR2, if I'm not mistaken. They confirmed that on Twitter.
Oh, great. I love it, because that's the first one is the last game I played on PSVR, and that must have been
great game
2018, because I'm not setting that thing up again. So it's just
exactly.
Yeah, my VR is like right next to me. I'm just like, I'm good right now. But let's move on here. But PlayStation VR 2, it looks good. The console looks good. Persona brought up the vents. Very, very smart. They also have lens adjustment, so you can adjust the lens, which is smart as well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. And I like the whole one core thing, because now we finally know what this goddamn port is for in the front.
USB-C port in the front. Yeah, exactly.
So it makes sense. But let's go on to my man, Uncle Shuhei Yoshida. Shoo! It's being a real tease out here. PlayStation is teasing, and they are teasing us hard. Especially with like games like Elden Ring coming out, Horizon coming out. But here, Shuhei did a random tweet on a Friday, the day of Horizon. The last 5 games I played: Horizon Forbidden West, Genshin Impact, Sifu, unreleased puzzle action, and unreleased Souls-like game. And then he further, explained himself, was like, the last one is not Elden Ring. Very, very, very strange tweet. Very, not strange. I like it, but it's one of those teaser tweets right there. What's your thoughts on this tweet, Colin? I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna ask, like, Colin, is it Bloodborne 2?
Yeah, it's not Bloodborne 2. But it could be Bloodborne. I feel like it probably is something like Salt and Sacrifice, but I would imagine, because they did have a relationship with that studio on the first one, Salt and Sanctuary. So it's probably something like that. Puzzle action could be like, that Shovel Knight game that's coming out. I have no idea, but it would be fun to think that it would be the Bloodborne port, because everyone knows that is a conspicuous absence. It makes no sense why they haven't released the game on PS5, why it hasn't gotten a 60 frame patch on PS5 and all of this. So it's the most conspicuous absence, and I think people are pulling for that. But it's, as I've told people, as I understand that they are working on that at Blue Point, but I don't know.
Wait, hold up. Blue Point is working on a Bloodborne port.
Yeah, we reported this. I want to get it straight, but yeah, we talked about this a few months ago.
Crazy.
That I understood, someone that I trust told me that Blue Point is working on Bloodborne projects. So, and I trust.
Oh boy, that's gonna be.
That would make sense to me, just because you can imagine that Bloodborne is one of those games that appeals to the hardcore, such that even though it came out in 2015, you could imagine on the last console, that you can imagine a situation where, hey, maybe you want to sit down and really release a beautiful patch for this, because Demon Souls was big on PS5. It's kind of the home of these kinds of games, or was. Sony kind of relinquished and fucked that up. Actually, Dark Souls could have been a PlayStation exclusive, So, I feel like, and in fact, Atlas published Demon Souls here. They didn't even publish it themselves, which is hysterical. They had no idea what they had. So you would imagine a situation where they want to treat it with a lot of care and a lot of respect. They're not stupid. They know people love Bloodborne, and so I would imagine that Blue Point would have its hands all over these games. And a
Bloodborne remake from Blue Point, that's gonna look immaculate, man.
Bro,
that is going to look amazing.
You imagine, and the thing is too, like Blue Point, it's showing their chops too, man. With a game that launched on PS5, now that Firm Software dropped Elden Ring, I'm sure Elden Ring is a more vast and bigger game, but when you compare the technicality between the two games, it's just like they're night and day. They're night and day. Like, you boot up.
Oh no, it's night and day.
You blew up Demon Souls today. That game is amazing. It runs great. It looks great. Environment, the detail, like.
Yeah, I just did a playthrough of that a couple months ago. Like, but the Demon Souls looks very beautiful. It's a very beautiful looking game, especially for it to be a Souls game. When you look at the genre, they're not really known for like these beautiful, graphically beautiful games. So to see something like Demon Souls look like that, it changes you.
Well, Herman House also, tweeted on this, replied to this tweet. He's like, such a tease, and Shuhei says did not mean to. But I
think it might be, personally speaking, I think it might be Little Devil Inside. I feel like that might be a bit of a Souls-like from the gameplay we've seen. I get those types of vibes because you kind of going into like this other world and you fighting all these different enemies and whatnot. It could be some type of Souls-like type of game. It doesn't have to be true to the genre, but it could have those types of elements.
This is what I feel, because I remembering, Little Devil Inside. I can see where you're coming from with. I feel that he purposely, tweeted out these last two games the way he did because he's teasing what's to come. It could be like the Salt and Sacrifice game that Colin mentioned, because that is like a Souls type type game. But I think I want to be that fan that's like, yo, I think this is gonna be like the Bloodborne remaster. There's no way they are that blind to that. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way. I can't see them not saying like, yo, this is coming soon, especially after the reception of Demon Souls, another game that they own, their IP that they had Bluepoint remake. But we'll definitely see. Yo, Persona, let's get these super chats before we move on here.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so the first one is, because I might miss one. Grizzly Bear King, he says, Colin, you beautiful bastard.
Thank you. That's pretty uncommon. I don't hear that very often. Thank you.
And then Viper Reaps, man, appreciate you. He says, I have vehemently against VR because I am just happy with my turn-based JRPGs on TV. I also enjoy PS bangers. If there are games like Horizon Forbidden West and God of War going into VR, I am most definitely getting one. So, shout out to Viper.
There's two more from Vejer with a 20C. He said, Colin, what's your take on the rumors of Spartacus? I think we spoke about that a little bit. But do you have any more take on that, Colin, or?
No, I'm just excited to learn more. I think we'll know more, sooner than later. I would imagine.
Yep. And then we have my man Cyber Dragon with the $20. Says, shout out to the chat, the mod, the guest, Colin, and What's Up PlayStation podcast. Hit the like button. Shout out to Cyber Dragon, really cool guy.
Shout out to Cyber.
You know what I mean? That's the OG.
Long-time supporter. Yeah, long-time supporter.
So Call of Duty, Colin, if you don't know, we are big Call of Duty fans. We are big Call of Duty. You call us a fanboy. Call of Duty. Even though we're very, adamant about, the quality and how we talk about Call of Duty, we scream it sometimes. But Bloomberg has announced here that the annual cycle could be going away because Call of Duty 2023 has been delayed, according to the report that Bloomberg is issuing here. So they're saying that we're going to have this year Call of Duty. Then next year, instead of a mainstream Call of Duty, it's going to be a free-to-play Call of Duty game. And then after that, Treyarch, that's supposed to do 2023, is going to be doing 2024 with Call of Duty. And we got to give my man Persona his flowers. I know Persona wants to get his flowers. He's going to be real cocky right now. You might see the politician come out, Colin, so be ready. About Call of Duty. Persona, what's your thoughts, man?
I'm a PlayStation fan too. Listen, man. Listen, all I got to say is when I speak, you listen. Listen, when the whole Microsoft Activision thing happened, I said, yo, listen, it would be, I think Microsoft would make it exclusive. People kept telling me, no, because, the money, why would they take that money that much money off the table? Okay, I give you that. But then when the news came out about the execs, upper management execs in talks and thinking about not having an annualized Call of Duty, I said, okay, this makes sense because as we've seen since Warzone has initially released, it has been a hit. And realistically, I feel like that is where the bulk of the community is. And even when you look on Twitch and look at the streaming numbers, most people are watching Warzone and not Call of Duty, albeit if it's Cold War or Vanguard or whatever. And then when you couple that with
Persona.
Hold on.
Before you go, I just want to correct you in a few things before you go. The report is also saying this is not due to the acquisition of Microsoft and
no, it's not. No, it's not. I'm not saying it is at all.
And the fact that Vanguard underperformed according to what Activision said. But go ahead, continue.
Yeah, Vanguard didn't meet expectations, right? And when you look at the expectations of Call of Duty, it's like, damn, if it sold 5,000 less or a million less and only sold 24 million instead of 25 or whatever, that's just an exaggerated number, that didn't meet expectations for them, because Call of Duty has ballooned into this thing where it has to sell, it always has to do better, and it always has to break records. But when you look at Warzone and what Warzone is the new Call of Duty. Warzone, that whole free-to-play model, how they have that set up, that is where most people are playing the game. Bari, we play COD faithfully, the traditional 6v6, and we can see that the care and attention to the 6v6 modes aren't as much as it is with Warzone, right? When they're talking about taking away that whole annualization of Call of Duty, I said that they would take away the mainline CODs and they would make Warzone the mainstay. And we know that Warzone 2 is coming. So create Warzone 2 and just keep updating and do that whole Fortnite model, right? And I said that I think that they would go that route because it's still pulling in bread, and you can keep that everywhere and still keep doing the seasons and do, all these different characters or whatever, kind of like how Fortnite does, and make the money.
Yeah,
people
but
told me I was wrong.
The free-to-play game is not a Warzone.
How do you know?
No, because Warzone.
So what is the free-to-play game then?
No, from what the report is saying, that the free-to-play game is just pretty much the core concept of Call of Duty that's in a free-to-play model. Like, they already have that Fortnite type battle pass.
That's what Warzone is.
No, but Warzone, that's not Warzone. Warzone is battle royale. If you're saying that this is what Call of Duty is going to be, a battle royale, I don't think they're going to ever do that. I'm saying that the model that they already have in Call of Duty is like that free-to-play model, because they have the battle pass there, and you just play the game through the battle pass.
No, what I'm saying is that Call of Duty releasing the mainline CODs every year, I say give it 3 to 5 years. I don't think they'll do that anymore entirely. I think they'll let Warzone be the front runner and then release a mainline COD maybe every 3 years or something like that. And cut. I think they'll cut that out entirely.
No, I can't agree with it, because you know why? Because you're thinking of Warzone as like that's how you play a regular core game. Like Warzone is battle royale.
No. What they'll do is they'll have Warzone, and then if they make one more COD and just keep updating that and keep people in. I'm telling you, man, I don't think they're gonna be making annual Call of Duties too much longer.
What's your thoughts, Colin? As we two COD fanboys are.
No, it's all good. I can confirm a lot of this. I mean, I had a source telling me this last month. I just didn't. First of all, I don't really. It sucks. Like every once in a while, someone tells me something, and I'm like, either I don't follow up on it and I don't believe it, and then it's true. A big example was a source told me about Wolverine, and I just was like, that's so outrageous. There's no way that Insomniac's making a Wolverine game. And then it ended up being true. So a source reached out to me that I trust and told me that this is true. Although they told me this beforehand, so that's why I'm so comfortable about talking about it. That source told me that Warzone 2 will come out this year. And alongside an Infinity Ward, I guess, game. And they were saying that then the Infinity Ward game beginning next year will get single player DLC, which I think would be a first for the series. And the interesting thing here, and this is what my source told me, which was there's going to be let me see here. I'm trying to find it in my notes. There's going to be a new mode from Infinity Ward called Extraction. And it'll apparently is inspired by Escape from Tarkov, which is the super hardcore PC only FPS. And so yeah, it seems like my source tells me that this is what's going to happen, and that annualization of Call of Duty is over. So the game will come out this year, and then next year it'll start the process of probably getting all the teams working on one game at a time, and that's what I was saying. Like, we don't really know. I don't have any details on that, but I would imagine if you can just figure out everyone's egos, having Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and Sledgehammer working on a game for the same game for 3 years would create a massive hit. And if they can just get everyone in order, and is it more valuable for them to work in a 3-year cycle still, but make one game every 3 years? I think so. Then you can support it as a platform, and then everyone's anticipating and waiting for the next one. So I'm not a Call of Duty guy. I've never been a Call of Duty guy. I used to play the campaigns, but I got away from that even years ago. But that's what my source, I keep saying my friend, but he's really not my friend. My source is telling me about Call of Duty, and I wish I reported it because it was, ended up being reported by Bloomberg. But that's how I understand it. So we'll see what happens. I'm fascinated by it because it'll be the first time since PS2 that we don't get a Call of Duty next year.
And in other words,
Persona is right.
No, what are you talking? Yo, listen, I know what I'm talking about, man. And I'm not saying this to be cocky. I'm saying I feel like the writing has been on the wall for a while with this, because Call of Duty's CODs have kind of fell for me in terms of like that cold quality, right? Cold War was good, but it took time for Cold War to be good. Out the gate, Cold War wasn't good. Modern Warfare was ass. And Vanguard, Vanguard is just, it's tough sometimes to play that game.
Vanguard is suffering because of the time period that is put in there. I just don't think people want to play, like a World War II type of game right now.
I'll say this: if they do put all 3 teams to make one COD, they better be in Treyarch's world. Yo, listen, Treyarch makes the best Call of Duties, and they have for the longest time. They make the best Call of Duties in the movement and they just do it the best. So let Treyarch be the front runners.
Their system is the best on how they do it.
Absolutely.
Treyarch games have always been fun, but the big kahunas of Treyarch is now a deviation game. So we're gonna see how that play out and when we're gonna get that announced. But yeah, your Persona, we giving Persona flowers, everybody.
Absolutely.
Persona,
absolutely.
We'll see how it works out, but can we at least give? I mean, I'm sure you guys agree, but I said this on Sacred, is like, we got to give props to Activision for keeping that ship together for so long and not missing any years. It almost fell apart a couple of years ago when they removed the campaign from that one game, and pretended that it never existed, even though it definitely did. But it's amazing. 2000, and I said I did this exercise on Sacred Symbols, and I'll do it here because it's just so funny. There was a Call of Duty in 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 will be the last one. That's a lot,
Yeah.
And that's some management and some production.
I think the smartest thing that they did is I think this is during PS4 gen, at the start or early in that gen, where they put all 3 teams and kind of created that artificial 3-year cycle where Treyarch released theirs, and then they have 3 years till it's their turn again. I thought that was very smart because you're working real effective with that. But the whole annualization, I think they're seeing that when it comes to online based games, that free to play route, they trying to really eat up that money, man. And kind of like Destiny has been out. Destiny 2 released, I think, in 2017, and they've just been putting out expansions for the past 4 years or so. And they're making bread. They're making money. Fortnite released, I forgot the date Fortnite released, but they released when it released. And before Fortnite released, Epic was only worth about 800 million. Now Epic is worth about 20 plus billion off of a free to play. Come on.
Yeah, the whole free
Activision
play
is looking at that, and they want to get into that. They want to really eat into that market. That's why Warzone. That's why they started doing the whole battle royale thing with the blackout and all that shit, because they saw battle royale taking off. Now they got that formula with Warzone, and they want to capitalize off that. They're like, look, we can build this up to be how Fortnite is, and we don't need to release these mainline Call of Duties because the market dictates that we don't need to anymore.
Yeah, but that's what Warzone is now. You know what I mean?
Yes, but what I'm saying is they're putting their eggs in that Warzone basket.
Yeah, but
that's what they're doing.
What I'm saying is that Warzone is for a set type of people. Like, not everybody. Fortnite is very popular. Battle Royale is very popular, but not everybody goes to Call of Duty to play Warzone. So if you are negating or not doing like an annual release or what, or not updating your game, because even when these games, we don't get an update like that every month. We get these things like every 4 months or so. You know what I mean? You're negating a sector of gamers that want to play that core experience of Call of Duty. You know what I mean? That might have to play that game like how we doing Cold War for 2 years. Not everybody's going to do that. You know what I mean? That's why I don't think it's a smart move, personally, from what I'm looking at, because not everybody plays Warzone. You know what I mean? Regardless of how much money it makes, not everybody plays Warzone. But you're going to follow the money.
We know this for sure, and I was making fun of people on our show as there was this fantasy that when Microsoft bought Activision, or when this deal was announced, that they would liberate these studios to make other games, like that fantasy was ever going to come true. And it's like, man, they bought Call of Duty and they bought the Call of Duty pipeline. That's what they bought.
Yeah.
And now these changes happened beforehand, but they're gonna continue to make Call of Duty, I think, on 3 flanks, right? You have your mobile and your free-to-play stuff, and then you have your campaign and core stuff that people are still gonna buy. And I think they look at games like Grand Theft Auto 5, I think, especially, and they're like, this game has sold 150 million copies. And and we don't need to make Call of Duty every year. We should just make it every few years. People abandon Call of Duty every year. My girlfriend, you guys talked to her when you were setting the show up, Micah, she's a huge Call of Duty fan. She plays all the time, and people are on to the next game every year. Yeah. And I think they want to break that up, because I think they realize, to the point, like, Fortnite has a gravity. It keeps people. So does Minecraft, and so does Roblox, and all of these things. And Sony certainly wants to get involved. They're going to try to throw 10 different things against the wall by 2026 in the free-to-play and game as a service realm. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but it's very interesting, because I never thought it would actually happen. I thought what would end up happening was that Call of Duty would break first, that they just wouldn't be able to get a game out in the fall one year, and then it would all start to fall apart. But they wisely nipped it in the bud, so they can actually say, we did it successfully for the most part, with the exception, again, of that aforementioned ripped out campaign a few years ago. And now we're going to go to this more sustainable thing. And they can even spin it as saying, like, look, we're going to treat our developers much better. But you know what? 3 years is not enough time to make a game anymore. It's not enough time.
Especially, like, the fact that Call of Duty comes out every year, and that game, like, on a single player standpoint, the quality of that game is pretty, like, blockbuster. Like, it's pretty big. Like, that's amazing in itself, that they can pump that out every year. Not every game comes out like that. It takes like 5. Nowadays, it's taking 5 years. Look, Horizon Zero Dawn came out 2017, 2022. The sequel came out.
If you want a game like Horizon Forbidden West, that's going to cost you $150 million at the minimum in 5 years. So that's the commitment, and that's why Game Pass, I think, is unsustainable. But that's a whole nother. A whole nother.
You're going to have to come on like or other shows on other platforms. When we talk about Game Pass, because trust me, we have a lot of talks about Game Pass, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But let me get this super chat from my man Strictly. With a $20, man. Strictly, I appreciate it. That's my bro right there. He said, "Y'all remember that Bloodborne remake rumor a while back? I hope it's true, because it's my first time. I need that." Nobody trying to go back to that 30 frames.
Absolutely not. Not on PS5, no.
Yeah.
That game, just connect the dots, right? Japan Studio's gone. From Software is working on other stuff with another publisher. XDev now works out of Europe only. It doesn't work in Japan anymore. Bluepoint puts out Demon Souls without From Software, right? What's next? I mean, it's just
and Bluepoint. They said that Bluepoint is working on an original game.
And on Twitter, From Software was tweeting that they're at the headquarters of PlayStation.
Yep, and that was for Elden, obviously. See, the whole thing goes there. Guys, let's not forget, Sony could have owned this entire genre, and they chose not to.
Crazy.
They funded and published Demon Souls in Japan, and then didn't even publish it in the United States. It was Atlas that paid for it to be translated and localized and published in the United States and in the West. And that's how From realized that they had this big hit and got more money from Bandai Namco. They could have nailed this down years ago, and we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But that's what's so funny, is that's where Bloodborne came from. Was the idea of like, wow, we really, really, really shat the bed, and they got Bloodborne as a result of that, but I think the math's pretty obvious about what's going to happen there, but we'll find out soon enough, I guess.
Before we move on, I want to ask you this question, because every time a new Souls game come out, everybody keep going back to this word, that the most popular word in the gaming community, niche. Do you think these Soul games now are niche?
No, I don't. I think well, everything's, and I don't use the French pronunciation. I say niche. Everyone gets mad at me when I say it.
Oh, I was trying to be fancy.
No, most people say niche, but I'm like, no, I'm just gonna anglicize the shit out of this word and say niche. But I think that, well, everything's a niche, but it's a larger piece of the pie than I think anyone would have expected. If Sony thought that people were gonna like those kinds of games, then they would have realized the piece of the pie was gonna be bigger and bigger and bigger. But Elden Ring's gonna sell millions of copies. I don't know that that's a niche game. I would look at a game like from Embracer in that genre, that would be, like the Surge. That's a niche game, but not, within the genre itself, that would be a niche. But I don't think the genre itself is much of a niche anymore. Yeah, like management games, that's a niche. Yeah.
Yeah, this game got like freaking two most anticipated awards. Well, let's move on here. Let's get into.
Wait. Sorry. Before you go, I do have to go because it's 1:00, so I have to run.
Okay, no problem.
I apologize.
Colin. Yeah, no worries.
So I thank you guys for your time. Appreciate you guys. You guys are great. Thank you for your audience, and didn't mean to interrupt your flow, but yeah, I gotta go because I have other commitments.
Definitely. We just
appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming through here, man. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully one day, later in the year or something, we'll get you back on here again.
Absolutely. Oh, and by the way, thank you for I was supposed to be on earlier and I had to cancel it a week before because I had something to do with my sisters and my mom. So thank you guys for that, because we had a great time. So I'm glad that I was able to go. So I appreciate you guys being flexible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We appreciate you coming through, man, and coming on What's Up PlayStation, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys. Be well.
Definitely.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yep.
Got lost in the conversation, Bari.
Yeah, we was lost in there.
We got lost in the conversation, man. I hate we couldn't get to the topics with him, but well, you and I we'll definitely go in for those topics. So
yeah, we're gonna go.
The show must go on. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So
I hope y'all enjoy, Colin being on the show. Definitely dope. Really cool to have him on, man. A lot of respect for Colin, man, and I'm just glad he was able to be on our show for episode 72 of WUPS. But go ahead, Bar.
Yeah, man, it's good to get his insight as well, man. Cause you can tell like he's a very knowledgeable dude, very experienced. So yeah, like this is the creme la creme. You know what I mean? This is the top of the board when it comes to the gaming industry. Like people that wrote reviews as a journalist. It's just great to see that he can actually take his brand and grow it separately now with Colin Last Stand and Last Stand Media, and then Sacred Symbols, and he even got an Xbox podcast in there, Defining Duke and all that. Yeah. But let's move on here, man. Persona, man, because we got a trailer of all trailers. The show, man. Street Fighter 6 Persona is here.
Absolutely.
We got a teaser showing reuse the greatest toes ever seen in creation. But yo, using the RE engine, man. This is a taste of what Street Fighter 6 is going to be. So what's your thoughts when you first saw the trailer, Persona, man? The look of the game, excited for Street Fighter 6. What's your thoughts, man?
Yo, that's Luke, right?
That's Luke. Yeah, the last character.
Luke, right? Yo, he looks so different compared to Street Fighter 5, bro. Like, I'm like, yo, that's Luke, right?
It's that RE engine, bro.
He looks so different in this trailer. Yo, listen, that RE engine is magic. And I think Street Fighter 6 is going to be next gen only. I hope it is. I really hope so. But they might make it cross gen. But this looks dope. I can't wait to truly see some gameplay and see how this looks like, in real time. But to see this teaser trailer was really cool. Ryu versus Luke. I'm excited. I'm very excited for this.
Yeah,
I just hope, I pray I pray that they have rollback netcode. So
Oh, yeah,
I'm like 80%. I'm like 80% sure that they will have
I'm
rollback
100%,
netcode.
100% sure. There's no
Yo,
way
the whole
they launching
industry
this.
is pushing.
There's no way they launching this without no rollback netcode. I mean, Street Fighter V has rollback netcode, but it's a bad implementation of it. It's not comparable to like, you know, the Arc Systems and, you know, like the Nether Realms and the other fighting games that.
Well, they all talk to. So I definitely think Capcom went to Arc Systems like, hey, so how y'all implement that rollback on Guilty Gear? We want to get that.
Yo, so yeah, I think it looks great. Ryu, just the detail on him, you see the scars, the sweat coming off, the steam, all that stuff looks really good as far as like a video game character perspective. They brought back a DLC, you know, Ryu, this costume here, they call him Hot Ryu with the beard and all that. This is actually going to be the base actual look for Ryu in Street Fighter 6, which is cool. Luke is back, because we all know that Luke, the last final DLC character, with 5, they said that Luke is going to be, it's like a preview of 6. So it's just shocking though that he is actually going to be like the face as well as Ryu for 6, because you know the classic is always Ryu and Ken, but this time it's going to be Ryu and Luke. Well, a lot of people have been complaining about
I think it's also going to have I think it's going to, based off this trailer too, I think we might be getting like the art style or like some of like the art direction for some of this stuff in the actual game might actually be comparable to Street Fighter 4 with that whole like paintbrush type of look. Because when you look at when they power up and about to hit, you see that. Remember that Street Fighter 4 thing where they would have like that whole, like that whole focus thing. So I think we might be getting that type of art style here with this, like in terms of like in fights.
Oh yeah. That would be cool.
Paintbrush type of thing. Yeah, I like that art style.
I think it would be cool to have that and the V system back for Street Fighter 5. But from what I'm hearing, this is actual in-game engine footage here of the game. So this is not actual gameplay, but this is a depiction of how the game is going to look. Street Fighter 6. But the thing is,
this game gonna look crazy.
What everybody's complaining about though, Persona, is this. The logo.
The logo. Yeah.
It looks basic, but in my opinion, that's like the last thing that I ever complain about. You know, especially like a fighting game. I'm just like, all right, it looks plain, it looks boring, but I want to see what the game is playing like, you know what I mean? Before I complain about the logo and all that, I want to see how the game look. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I don't know.
I was gonna say like the logo. I mean, when you look at the old Street Fighter logos, I could definitely see how this is very noticeable, right? But I'm also kind of looking at it like, yo, I want to see gameplay. I don't really give a damn. I don't really care about this logo, man. I want to see gameplay. Show me gameplay. That's where my focus and my care for this is. I don't care about the logo.
Yeah, man, that's why I want.
Like, because if the logo isn't super fancy, you're not gonna buy the game.
Yeah,
like,
because
is that what people is saying?
especially this is a teaser trailer. That stuff like that can always change. You know, the character visuals here can change. The logo can change. I'm not really too worried about that. I'm just worried like, yeah, okay, we got an official announcement that Street Fighter 6 is here. It kind of sucks that we got to wait till the summer, because you know how these game companies can be. We can wait until like the end of the summer. It's still living up to their promise of the summer. you know what I mean? Well, yeah, we gotta wait till the summer to get more information on the game. But I'm pretty excited for it, man. I'm pretty excited for it. I felt like Street Fighter V was a good game. You know, a lot of people say that, oh, the beginning of the game it sucked and this and that. Now I always thought the game was good. Like yeah, they added more defensive options and all that stuff as time go by and more characters. But Street Fighter V was the second most popular Street Fighter game ever. It sold 6.1 million copies worldwide, and that's only 100,000 less than Street Fighter 2. So yeah, you know, a lot of people say Street Fighter 5 was a failure, but it definitely was not. It did have its rocky launch, but the game definitely it lived up to it, man. A lot of the characters.
I think they learned from that too.
Yeah.
So.
But a lot of people didn't even listen to what Capcom was saying in the beginning of Street Fighter 5, because that was a game where they a year before the game came out, they was like, yo, this is gonna be a games as a service. And I guess people didn't get that memo. So when they see, oh, this roadmap, or oh, the actual, story campaign is going to be later in the summer, or this trial stuff is going to be later, they got upset about that. But Capcom was telling people like months upon months, this is how it's going to be, because that was a game that got funded late, where PlayStation had to come in and actually, help fund so the game could be created. But that game has some rocky issues.
Yo, PlayStation really been like out here saving some of these devs, guys.
Yeah, for real, man.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, Street Fighter 6
out here
looking great.
Some help.
Yo, shout out to my Magnificent Black with the $20. Yo, y'all dropping the 20 bones easily today, man. What's going on? Street Fighter, baby. Capcom, peace. Please.
Yo, facts.
I just hope Sakura's in there. What character you want to be in there? Like, I'm talking about base roster, not DLC, base roster.
Akuma.
Akuma?
Yeah, Akuma's always been my favorite character.
I think that's a safe bet. I agree with that.
Well, all right, let me not even go safe bet.
No, that's a good pick.
But there's not Akuma for sure, because I've always been a big fan of Akuma since way back in the day.
Yeah.
Right during that Alpha series. So I'm a big Akuma fan. But truly, I want Goken back.
Ooh, bringing the master back? Yo,
yeah,
base
Goken
roster
back.
too? Okay.
Yeah, base roster Goken. So I want Ryu, Ken, Goken, Akuma, Goken.
Yo, that would be dope to see him back though. Have the mask. I mean, he's dead, but it's fighting games. They don't care about that shit.
It's a fighting game, man.
Yeah.
Like put his ass back in the game.
Yeah, they don't care about it. Yo,
yeah,
shout out to my man Upchuck Gaming with the $4.99. He said, I'm playing in the arcades. In the arcade, loving the show. Yo, shout out to Chuck, man.
Hey, yo, Chuck, chill.
Yo, Chuck, we trying to have a good time out here, man.
the cap.
Yo, shout out to Chuck, man.
Yeah, shout out to Chuck, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when like Street Fighter news come back, we'll have Chuck back on here. Chuck was a guest on here.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
he was definitely a guest. But yo, one thing I want to say though, before we move on, is the Capcom Fighting Game Collection. Now, I think this is an essential for anybody that loves, fighting games. This is a buy. This is a must buy. Why? Because they're bringing rollback netcode to all of these games. That's one. Two, they're adding training mode and trials to some of these games. There's a lot of stuff.
I'm hyped for that Darkstalker collection that they got in there, man.
The Darkstalkers and Pocket Fighters. That's what I'm buying this game for. The other ones is just like bonus stuff. But here they have the online play, casual, ranked, custom matches, training, fighting awards, display filters. Like yo,
they going in, bro.
These games didn't have these. You know what I mean?
They didn't. They added that stuff to it.
Yeah.
See, but here's my thing. They need. Where's my rival schools, God?
This is why Persona. This is why I'm saying this game right here is essential. I'm talking about the people that like to play fighting games, not just the anybody that's just playing, right? This is essential that you buy this game because I feel like this is a setup for the rival schools, for the Versus series, the X-Men versus Street Fighter, the Marvel versus Capcom. This is a setup, man. If this doesn't succeed, we ain't getting them shits.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? That's
I need that. I'm hyped for this again off of the Darkstalkers series, especially the two games that were only in Japan.
Yeah. So
I can't wait to play those for sure. But if this is a catalyst or if this is a setup for another collection where they bring in the Rival School series, the X-Men versus Street Fighter series, the Marvel versus Capcom 1 and 2.
Yeah, this is definitely a setup, man.
The Capcom versus Street Fighter. Not Capcom versus Street Fighter. Capcom versus SNK.
Mm-hmm.
Like Capcom versus Tatsunoko. Right? That was only on the Wii. So if they bring that to PlayStation and other consoles, bro, that's the stuff that I want, man. Like, if they can give us that type of collection, I'll pay bro. I'll pay whatever they ask for that, man. I need that.
Will rollback too? Like, come on, man.
This is I'm saying rollback, trophies, training, all of that, bro.
Yeah, I was about to say because I never heard of this game right here, Red Earth. But yeah, they're saying this is the first time to home consoles. So I guess
I never heard of Red Earth either.
But yeah, man, the only reason why I'm highlighting this, guys, because I really want people to purchase this. That's for the future of things. When it comes to other fighting games. But yeah, they added a lot of stuff here that it's the first time that these games actually have it. Yeah, I think this is dope, man. If you enjoy these games in the past, like I'm a big fan of like Darkstalkers and Vampire Savior. Pocket Fighters, that was a dope ass game, but nobody's playing that game online, or you wasn't no training mode and all that stuff. But now this stuff is gonna have it, man. I'm all for this, yeah. But let's move it along. Persona, man, let's move it along. Yo, we had Colin Moriarty on here, yo. Hit the like button, yo.
Yo, facts. I'm a PlayStation fan too.
Yeah, man, that was.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I hear it.
You hear it?
It sounds louder than
make
Discord.
Sure.
To be honest with you, sound louder than this. But yo, quick little news here before we get into the topic, guys. Square Enix is planning on developing more HD 2D remakes in the future. The responsible team Asano has compiled a list of Square Enix games from from NES era to choose chose Live a Live and the most suitable title. Live a Live is a game that we never got to play because it never released in the States. So this is actually cool that this game is coming out in the summer.
It's coming to PlayStation, ain't it?
I think it's going to come to PlayStation.
Or it's coming to the Switch.
It's coming to the Switch first, because normally
I'll pick it up on the Switch.
Normally, when it comes to Nintendo, they will say come in exclusively, and during that press event, or not press event, the direct, they never said that. Even on their page, they just said coming to Switch in the summer.
I'm gonna pick it up.
You remember a lot of people saying that it's never coming to PlayStation because PlayStation abandoned Japan. Where Disgaea 6. Remember when I said, Disgaea 6 got announced to the Switch, but I'm not worried because I know it's going to come to PlayStation. Look what happened now. Got announced that it's coming to PlayStation, and it's coming soon to PlayStation.
I hope Octopath come to PlayStation. They need to hurry up and put that out, man. This shit is crazy. But in terms of 2D, I'm loving these HD 2D remakes, man. They really do look great. With Octopath Traveler and all these other games that's doing it.
We have Final Fantasy 6 that just came out on Steam. That looks
great.
the
pixel remasters, which I'm picking those up on Steam. I'm very excited for those.
There's a little sale right now on there.
Yeah, no, I want to pick those. I want to pick up the whole. I think I told you one of the things I wanted to do is play Final Fantasy 1 through 6 this year and complete those. So
it's like $77 now.
It's a lot of.
Before it was like 90. I think it's like a $20 sale off. So you might as well go and scoop.
Yeah, I'm gonna scoop that. But it's a lot of great games, man. A lot of great stuff in the HD remasters, the HD 2D remasters. I'm excited for that. That's day one. And Live Alive. That's definitely a game I'm gonna pick up. I'm gonna pick up as well. I never got to play that, so it's cool.
Yeah,
that's coming.
I'm picking it. It had a cool concept to it. I never played it. Because live here. But yeah. Dragon Quest 3 remaster looks great too, man. So there's a lot of stuff that they're remastering, which is smart. I think they should do it. The Final Fantasy stuff is already a smart move. And these are games right here that is gonna stand the test of time. They never look stale, and they're always gonna look good. You can always just reimagine it and just up-res it, but visually they always look good. But yeah, I'm excited for this. This got me super hyped hearing that Square is going to do it. And like I said, from a couple of weeks ago, I've been noticing a trend where there's a lot of these pixelated 2D HD RPG games that are coming out. Heck, Colin just announced here on this show that
one that's coming.
He's a part of one that's going to be created. I think it's coming 2024. He said, or shooting for 2024. So you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm with it, man. I'm definitely with it. I'm excited for it. This is how I started playing games, man. At games like this, that stuff can never go away from me.
That's what I was saying when it comes to turn-based JRPGs, right? I would love so for example, Edge of Eternity that just released.
Yeah.
That isn't really that great. if they would have made that like a HD pixel 2D remaster or a HD 2D game, bro, I feel like because there wouldn't have been that much pressure to have to create this open world. They could have just made this dope ass solid game with some really great dungeons, really great boss fights, still have the ATB system and cool like, animations for like the fighting and the moves that you use and stuff like that. I just love that. I love the HD remasters, man. It's so great.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. Yo, appreciate the new subscribers, guys. Appreciate it. And also, we got a super chat here from the Hatsuma. The $2 say, this was a great episode, so insightful about Bloodborne. Appreciate Hatsuma. But last news that we have here, Persona, man, it's not a good one. Is Square Enix, Q3 financial results briefing. We're just gonna focus on Guardians of the Galaxy. Didn't meet initial sales expectation. Recent sale initiatives helped though. So at first, the sales expectations did not meet. I guess that what they were shooting for with this game, but they saying that recent sales is helping it reach that goal as far as what they initially want. But what's your thoughts on this, man? Yo, a lot of people didn't buy this game. What's going on, man?
Yo, and it's crazy too because I see a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, it's because of that Avengers stench and all this other stuff," and I'm like, "Yo, a lot of you people really don't pay attention to the news, to the news and what developers are telling you. This was a single player only game. This is single player only, right? Granted, some of the gameplay showings that they did show, it looked like it needed a lot more work. But I was even surprised when I got the final product, and that game is very, very beautiful, very detailed, and the combat is fun. The story that's one of the best stories I played last year.
Won an award for story.
It might have. It was one of the best stories that I played last year. And I was just amazed at the game, and it was a big surprise to me last year. And I love the game, man. I just hate the fact that it didn't meet the expectations.
Yo, so they're saying here, while HD Games sub-segment released such titles as Outriders, Near Replicant, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, net sales were lower than in same period of the previous fiscal year, which had seen release such as titles like Final Fantasy VII Remake and Marvel's Avengers. So people say Marvel's Avengers flopped, but nah, the sales were higher for that game than what anticipated for Outriders. Which is funny. Yo, gamers, we gotta get better than this, man. Because Outriders, great game. Near Replicant, great game. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, great game. Yo, great games need to be supported. It need to be bought. You know what I mean? Like, yo, what is going on with gamers, bro? They saying that. Well, Square Enix always had that thing where they be like, oh, the numbers didn't meet expectations. Remember with Tomb Raider? It sold like 5 million. They was like, oh, the numbers didn't reach expectations. Like, what? What are you talking about? Well, yeah, man. It's kind of sad they didn't meet their expectations. But hopefully, the sales do pick up, like they're saying. People play a great game because, yeah, I agree with Persona 100%. That is probably one of the best games. No, not probably. It was one of the best games last year. It's a fun ride, fun story. Gameplay is fun. I think a lot of people that do boot that game up. But yeah, let's get into this topic, Persona, man, because we're here again, Persona. And we appreciate everybody that's here in the podcast. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the show. If you guys are enjoying the show, hit the like button, share the stream out, subscribe. It does help us out. Like my man JC King Perico that just subscribed, man. We appreciate you. But we're gonna get into this topic, man. We wish Colin could have, obviously he got other things that he got to do Saturday morning. He's like, yo, I got to do my stuff. But are there any accountability in the games media? Are reviews for games incomplete? Yeah, are reviews for video games incomplete if the video game isn't finished? And the reason why this got brought up is because once again we saw a tweet from a fella blue checked marker here, where this guy I don't know what this guy was on. I don't know, what was his whole deal, but this dude has pretty much confessed here, Persona. He said, you don't need to finish a game to review it, and your editors shouldn't be asking you to do that, especially when it would destroy you to do so. But Persona, hold on, Persona, relax, hold on, we're gonna break it down. In the 8 years of reviewing video games, I probably finished around 10% of them, and my opinions were rarely the outline with others. Let's go back to this first topic here. I mean, this first paragraph, Persona, man. Help us break this down. You don't need to finish a game to review it. This is people that work for this is their livelihood. This is when somebody asks you, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" You say, "Hey, I'm a games journalist. I review video games. I talk about video games." Right? And your editors, your boss, shouldn't be asking you to do that, especially when it would destroy you to do so. Would destroy you? Persona, what is going on here? Persona, can I ask you a personal question?
No, Mr. Jay Bari, but you can ask me a personal question.
Okay, Mr. Gaming Politician.
Yes, sir.
What is your profession?
In profession on the internet or the profession in my real life? Because on the internet, I speak for the people. On the internet, I am the voice of reason within the gaming community. It wasn't a role that was given to me. It was a role that I had to step in because I saw a problem within the gaming community. So I stepped up, and I'm here for the gamer. I speak for the gamer.
Okay, so you're a gaming politician is your profession.
Yes, I am the voice of the people.
Do you half-ass your profession, sir?
That's a argument. That's a bad faith argument, Mr. J. Bari. I gotta be honest. That's a bad. You're asking these questions in bad faith, and because of that, I cannot answer them. Try again.
Do you think it's fair for a game reviewer not to finish a review? I mean, not to finish a game to review it. Do you think it's right for this person to tweet this out that your editors shouldn't be asking you? He said ask, by the way, not a request. For you to finish a game to review it. Your job, your livelihood. You shouldn't be finishing what you do so you can do your job to the optimal performance. Your boss shouldn't be able to tell you to do that. And if you were to do your job at the optimal performance, it would destroy you by doing so. What's your thoughts on that, Mr. Game Politician?
So, Mr. J. Bari, that's a wonderful question, and I appreciate you for asking that. So here's the thing that you need to understand about the games media and gaming in general, right? Gaming, I feel like you're very gatekeeping right now, right? Where you're trying to gatekeep, you're trying to gatekeep people from being able to speak on gaming, right? I don't have to complete a game to speak on it, right? A reviewer doesn't have to complete the game to be able to speak on the game. The important thing is that they put time into the game, and so they can give their review. Right? You know, like this whole beating video games thing that you keep talking about, I don't know where this is coming from, Mr. J. Bari. Like, it's 2022, okay? Now, maybe back in the 90s or the 80s or whenever you started gaming, maybe beating games was important for you back then. But in the new age of gaming, no one beats games these days. I mean, come on, man, right? The important thing is the game working, right? That's what the reviewer needs to give us as gamers. Does the game work? Oh, it works. Okay, I'm gonna pick it up, right? You don't have to beat games to be able to talk about them, Mr. J. Bari. You damn sure don't need to beat games to be able to review them.
What's the last game that you beat?
That's a bad faith question.
What is
It's a
not
faith
bad
question
faith
that I'm not
to
going
you?
to answer.
What can
Excuse me?
what can I ask you that's not a bad faith question, sir?
Well, keep trying and we'll see.
Yo, Mr. Game Position, enough of you, man. Enough. Where is Persona?
Listen, just because you don't like my answers, that's not
Where
my
is
fault,
Persona?
okay?
Persona, can you tie this man up, please?
Sorry about that.
Persona, yo,
Keeps...
get this man on check.
I'm sorry. I don't know how he keeps getting to the mic, Bari. I don't know.
Yo, is he dodging you? Is he?
Like sometimes, like I had to run to the bathroom real quick, right? And I come back and he's talking on the mic in the headset. I don't know why, right? I'm sorry. Like next time I'll just like lock down the computer if I go to the bathroom.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what's wrong.
Put a
with him,
password on there or something. Maybe he's gonna probably steal the password. Some Mission Impossible shit.
Yeah, some crazy shit like that. But nah. But listen, man, this is a conversation, Bari, that we have been having for too long, bro. Like too long, man. And the thing about this gaming media, for certain parts of the gaming media, is that when it comes to the integrity, right? It's so lost in the sauce in this gaming media, in this game media, in the game community now, that things that would not even be remotely acceptable 10, 20 years ago in gaming is acceptable now. And and people hide behind the guise of, oh, well, it's trying to be inclusive or whatever, like, or you're gatekeeping, right? And it's like, listen, man, your job is to review games, right? Your job is to review games. That's what you are supposed to do. That's your job. So if your job is to do something like that, you need to do your job. And if there's not something you can't handle, then maybe you need to find a different profession. That's how I see it. Now, do developers need to give ample time for game reviews? Absolutely. But I also think reviewers and review sites need to also have enough employees on staff to do the reviews for said games. Because you have 3 or 4 games to review, that's not my fault. I also have 3 or 4 projects that are due by April.
Yeah.
These are high profile projects. And if they're not due by that time, I'm in trouble.
Yo, my
or it looks bad on me. And it's like with gaming, this is, I'm gonna say this and then I'll let you talk. The whole thing with gaming, this is something that I said a long time ago, Barry. You might remember. I said I feel like games journalism is the McDonald's of gaming.
Yeah,
right? Remember back in the day as a kid, right? What was the jobs that your parents would tell you to get as a kid? Work at a grocery store bagging groceries, work at the movie theater in a concession stand or cleaning up the theaters, work at McDonald's or wherever to get that first time work experience, right? You're dealing with customers and socializing with different types of people and all that stuff, right? Those are good jobs to build a resume when you're first starting out, right? But most people who work at those jobs, that is not where they stay. That is just a springboard to where they truly want to be in their careers and lives. And I feel like with game journalism, it's the same thing. People view it as this. I don't think game journalism is as respected as it could be, because I feel like a lot of people treat the profession, and more so the gaming journalism profession, as something that isn't meant to be as valued, something that to be as respected or valued within the game industry or the community, right? Because if you have people that can straight up say, I only play 10% of games, or I don't beat games and I review them and all this bullshit. Do you respect the hobby? Do you respect the craft? Do you respect your job?
Yeah, I feel like games, the games media and journalism is more like a hobby than actual profession, because this right here, this is unprofessional. I can't go to my bosses or heads of the company and be like, I don't want to give you the full report of these companies here or these insurance companies here. I'm just going to give you half of it, because if I do the full report, that's going to destroy me. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, yo, so why did you apply for this job? Why are you going out here saying that I'm a games journalist? You know what I mean? I'm a game reviewer, or I talk about video games. If you're not going to put your 100% into what you do, This is your job. This is how you make money. And you're gonna his first paragraph is so crazy to me, and I feel like a lot of people share the same sentiment. A lot of people might not come out and say it, but they share the same sentiment because we see countless time after time after time where everybody wants to have these excuses for not doing their job correctly, for reviewing a game. Oh, I got these other games that I gotta review. Okay, you know what I mean? Tell the burger flipper that he shouldn't be flipping the burger because I can't flip the burger because I gotta make the fries. This is what you chose to do. This you know what I mean? Like I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Like my man said, your editors shouldn't be asking you to do that. Finishing a game to review it. Your editor, your boss shouldn't be asking you to do that. What? Is this even like a real tweet? Is this a troll? Is he trolling? What are we doing here, man?
But that's my whole thing as well, right? With this stuff with gaming journalism as a whole, right? Where even with reviewers or reviewers, right? And y'all know I don't follow reviews. I in terms of like to determine if I'm gonna buy a game or not. I just buy games that I'm interested in. Like that's really all I do. There's no magic to it or anything like that. I buy games that interest me, right? If I see a brand new IP and it looks really cool and really interesting, and the news that I'm hearing about it and seeing it intrigues me, I pick the game up. That's how I am. I've been like that for years. But the thing about reviews is, because oftentimes people like to use this, it's an opinion, it's an opinion. Absolutely, it's an opinion, right? But you should still be trying to be as objective as possible in giving said thoughts on a game. And for a lot of these reviews nowadays, there is no objectivity, right? It's a problem. It's a problem within games media where, and again, just for the sake of the conversation, but the fact that Horizon Forbidden West is lower than Horizon baffles the shit out of me, right? When there's virtually no bugs, there's no major issues or anything like that. But then Elden Ring, I'm seeing articles of performance issues, people saying you need to use the PS4 version, the PC version having performance issues. When I was playing, there was some skips and shit like that. And I'm like, this is a must play in the state that it's in.
You know why Persona, you got a lot of that with Elden Ring. I'm not bashing Elden Ring.
I'm not I'm not bashing This is not me bashing Elden Ring. This is me pointing out the glaring disparities and lack of objectivity and integrity within games, media, and reviews. I'm not bashing Elden Ring. Elden Ring is dope. I can't wait to sink my time into it.
It's funny because when you said that about Elden Ring, a lot of people are now bringing up the issues after the review of the game. But the thing is with Elden Ring, majority of the reviews of Elden Ring, this is why this tweet came out here. They did not finish the game.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So even on an objective standpoint of talking about performance and any issues and stuff like that, you can't even give like a full, you can't even give you a full like and what's the word I'm trying to think of here? Your full analyst or whatever of the, not analyst, but your full analytic review. Your thoughts on it because you didn't complete the game to its entirety. You know what I mean? You didn't get to that end portion of the game. So this is why this tweet came out, because a lot of people that reviewed Elden Ring didn't finish the game, and that's why this whole review stuff is coming out. This is why this guy is tweeting out this game talking about 80 hours plus. You shouldn't be able to review it, or you should be getting thousands of dollars to review it. Like, yo, this is this is why there's such a disconnect between the actual gamer and the actual reviewer a lot of times, because we're finding out that people are playing games on easy, or they're playing games with cheat codes, or they're not finishing games. And when the actual review come out and the gamer that's playing it, there's such a disconnect, there's such a disparity. It leaves people like, yo, what is going on with games reviews today? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like at the end of the day, if you're to review a game and you didn't finish it, you should highlight that for sure. But honestly, I wouldn't even call that review. Let's call it an impression.
and impressions. Yeah, like, and this is my thing, bro. It's like, yo, with this community and with the industry, I feel like there is this god complex going around where
Everybody superstar.
a lot of these reviewers have, because they getting this shit for free, right? And I just feel like, yo, like for them, I don't think they really hold it within the same regard, man. I just truly don't.
It's true.
Because it just, it doesn't, your demeanor and how you act, like this shit here, this doesn't look like somebody who loves gaming to me.
It's more
Who
when
loves gaming, who loves the hobby, who respects the hobby.
When I see those tweets like, oh, I got this game review code, it's more like a bragging thing rather than actually, are you going to finish to play the game to its entirety? Like, yeah, you got a code, but look at my man Jeff Ross and was it Garvin? What's his name? Is it Mark Garvin? I don't remember. The Days Gone people. They were like, yo, a lot of people John Garvin. A lot of people that review their game ain't even finish their game. But they out here bragging, oh, I got a review code. You even had the decency to be like, yo, let me actually go out and finish this game. And these companies are giving these people these codes. When you got hungry people in the industry that would like to see the industry thrive and would love to talk about these games in a more professional level or a more, higher standard level, you don't have a better eye at them. But you're giving these people that don't finish your games, don't even like your platform, go on YouTube and Twitter bashing your platform left and right. But the only reason why you're giving a code out is because of the traffic that they bring, not the content, the traffic. The overall system.
And it's a big problem. It's a big problem. Yeah, it's a big problem though, because you got people in this community who, they'll play the game in its entirety. Well, part of the problem is that everybody's racing to be first. That's one of the biggest problems. Everyone's racing to be first, right? So because you have everybody racing to be first, this is what it is.
Yeah, I get the whole being first because you want to get that review out before the game actually comes out. But sometimes, like, one thing I do like what IGN would do sometimes is the fact that they'll say review in progress. Or who I like really a lot? Giant Bomb. They're not putting out a review of a game or for a game without them finishing it. They will tell you like, oh, this is our impressions, or here this is a review in progress kind of thing. I don't see an issue with that. Yeah, you're talking about the things.
That's what I'm saying. It could be a review in progress.
But you haven't completed the game yet. Like, I'll give the review when I finish the game.
But the problem with that as well is that you got people, they're not even putting in their reviews. Hey, look, this is a real review in progress, or I'm still in the process of playing the game. They're just putting a review out, and you got people saying, oh well, if a game is 50 hours and you put 30 hours in or whatever, that's enough to do a review because you've got to just no. You still need to play through it in its entirety and see the story and all this other stuff. I don't know, brother. Like, and this is why, like, when it comes to like the gaming community or the industry and stuff like that, with certain things, it's hard to get on board, bro.
I find it funny as hell, Persona, that a big game like Elden Ring, big massive game that won most anticipated game twice, two times in a row, that when this game launched, when the reviews came out, the review embargo lifted, it had about like 20 something reviews. By the end of the day, it was like at 40. A big game like this right now, the February 26th, only has 49 reviews. They're great. They're spectacular reviews. Don't get it twisted. I can understand why the game is being reviewed. I'm not even talking about the reviews, so I'm not trying to bash the game itself, but I'm just surprised. But like a game like Horizon, day one, over 110 reviews. Now it was at like 114.
Mm-hmm.
But you see what I'm. It's just like, yo, I get that some games are difficult and whatnot. Maybe that review is not out there, but this tells me that a lot of this stuff here, the 49 of the reviews for Elden Ring, are not fully complete, just due to this sentiment right here that these people like this dude have. My man said in 8 years of reviewing video games, I probably finished around 10% of them. Yo, in my opinion, it's just like, you're not even a gamer at that point. Like, you only finished 10% of the games in 8 years.
Crazy.
8 years. Yo, Persona. 8 years, bro. 10% of the games were finished. You're not even a gamer at this point. You just.
That's disgusting.
You're just somebody that dabbles. Shit, crazy, yo.
It's disgusting, bro.
Yo,
it's disgusting.
We're gonna end it right there, Persona, man. We're gonna end it right there. Yo, guys, if you made it this far, you know the vibes. You know what trophy you getting. There goes that platinum. Gotta pop it again for the PS4 version. And yo, shout out to Colin Moriarty once again for being a guest on What's Up PlayStation podcast. We have a trophy for you as well, Colin. Get that platinum trophy. But Persona, man, it's been a good show, yo. A little longer than usual.
Yo, that's a fact.
But pretty good.
I mean,
show.
it was worth it though.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, remember when I messaged you? I said the topics, the news is like can cause like good discussion. So there's a lot of stuff that I didn't even put in the outline. I just knew that the stuff that we had here is
Yep.
Yo,
yeah. Go ahead, get it. Go ahead.
There was a few of them. Let me just scroll on up.
Yeah, get those super chats before we get up out of here.
All right, so we got Henry Heck. Did you read Henry Heck one?
No, I didn't read none.
The shout out to my man Henry Heck, man, with a $10. He said, "Yo, buddy, 2 with Buddy's take. For the 8 years of he was reviewing games, he was stealing from his employer. These folks want the whole check for half the work. It's crazy. Yo, that's a good ass point. You know what I mean? The man had the audacity, not the audacity, the audacity to say your editor shouldn't be asking you to do that to review a game. Yeah, you're half-assing your job and you want the whole check. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if they said, all right, so your check is going to be $200 shorter, they're going to be upset because they got to pay that rent or they got to pay whatever bill. Pretty sure of that. And then shout out to my man Viper's Reap Corner with the $4.99 iPhone users in the building. As a surgeon, I don't do the entire surgery, just 10%. Yo. A lot of people ain't living, bruh. Imagine if surgeons had that thought. A lot of people ain't living. A lot of people dying.
We'd be done.
You know what I mean? This joint crazy, man. But yo, Persona, man, hit us with your outro, bro. Let the people know where they can find you. What you got planned for? It's been a while since you streamed, but I know pretty much next week we back in order.
Oh yeah. First off, I just bought the Pixel remasters, Final Fantasy 1 through 6.
As you should. It's like $70, right?
Fantasy. Yeah, 74. So I just grabbed that on Steam. So I'm gonna start Final Fantasy 1 at some point, probably in the spring, and get through that and play through all the Final Fantasies.
I say start from the top to the bottom.
So 1.
No, I start from like 6.
Start from 6 and go down?
Yeah, go down. You kind of want to play like 6 is a great game. Because none of them really is like chronological order. It's just like when a game came out order.
Yeah, it's when a game. All right, I'll start with 6 then. Fuck it. I'll do 6 and then I work my way down. I really want to play 6 anyway, and really, because I know of Kefka, and I know about him, but I really want to play that game and really get a gist of Kefka.
6 is good. Yo, when you get to that Phantom train, just hit me up. Let me know your thoughts.
I got you. But yo, listen, man, I'm gaming with Persona. It was great this week, man. Big shout out to Colin Moriarty, man. We really appreciate him coming through to our show and really, being a part of the conversation and giving his thoughts on the game and stuff like that. It's really, really great to have him on. That really means a lot to us. Like I said, I've been a big fan of Colin for a very, very, very long time. And I have a lot of respect for him and the Last Stand Media crew, Defining Duke's crew, and everybody over there. So big shout out to all of them. So shout out to Colin, and also shout out to Micah for helping us set this up.
Yep.
Really appreciate her as well. So shout out to her. But for me, man, listen, I'm gaming this weekend, man. I'm trying to get through Horizon. I want to get this platinum. I'm like 55% with the trophies. So I'm really gonna be on that heavy. Plus, I'm about to do these arenas because Bari let me know something. So you're gonna be seeing some. You're gonna be seeing those that legendary. Yeah, you're gonna see that legendary armor on your boy shortly.
The best one is the Nora one, by the way.
Nah, I think it's the what's the name? Actually, I gotta look at it again. It might be.
The best one is the Nora one. The best looking one though, that's subjective.
No, the best looking one or the best one with the stats?
The best one with the stats is that Nora one, hands down.
I gotta look again.
Bro, you're gonna be so cheap, it's not even funny.
I'm gonna look again. I'll see. But in terms of next week, When Persona Speaks is back Monday. We're gonna talk about a couple things. We're gonna talk about Horizon. Talk about people in this community not gaming. This whole week, man. So many games have released this week, and the community still Twitter fingers all week, crazy. So we're gonna be talking about a few things, man. And really, and talking about some of the stuff. I'll think of another topic. I know there's one more thing I wanted to talk about last week that I said, nah, I'm gonna talk about it this week. Also, I'll be giving away Horizon Forbidden West Deluxe Edition, probably Monday as well on the show. For subscribers only, subscribers and members only. Don't think, oh, I'll support, but I'm gonna come try to win free shit. No, you're not. It's subscribers and members only. So yeah, but outside of that, man, that's really much it for me. I really appreciate y'all coming through. I hope y'all enjoy our comeback episode after being on a week hiatus. It's great to see everybody in the chat. It was a good turnout. So shout out to y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have a great Saturday and a great weekend.
Yeah, man. Shout out to you guys, man. We appreciate it. Once again, big facts, yo. We hit 2K subscribers, so that was huge, and we didn't even have a podcast during the time we hit 2K subscribers. So that's a good goal that we reached. Also, be on the lookout very, very soon for What's Up PlayStation. Memberships. If you guys want to take part of that. I know me and Persona, we're going to sit down and we're going to congregate on some ideas and stuff like that very, very soon. But be on the lookout for that very soon, guys. It's coming. And yeah, we appreciate Colin for coming on. Yeah, one thing about Colin that's great is that, he's not shy to answer any questions. Like, he's very, upfront with his answers and what he says. That's always going to be entertaining and good, especially with somebody that's being the host. But yeah, we're gonna get up out of here, man. We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for coming through. Persona, you still there?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we about to get up out of here. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. And we gone. Another platinum trophy.
Peace.
Deuces.
Peace. Appreciate y'all.